Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tear Off Your Skin. I hope you're doing well. Let's get right into it. I want to show you something first before we begin. What do you think of that? Doesn't that look badass? I just received that today. I quite like it. It's not final, but we're working on it. But I think that's promising. So that's some news there. There you go. Still like showing you that some work is getting done. We're still working on some stuff there. There's some progress being made. We'll see. I'm joined again tonight by look at that. Is that a good format? Is that asserts dominance? Hello,
Hey,
Phil. On that
hey,
side.
how's it going? I want to let
How
you
you doing,
know
man?
that I really am impressed by your girth this evening.
But
Oh,
yes,
hey, how's it going?
there you go. Let's make thing a little more fair.
No,
Find yourself. How you been?
I've been well. Been well.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been beating myself up over the Wild Hell game.
Why?
Huh?
You're not reason to beat yourself up.
Um,
It was a fine game.
it was fine,
Yeah.
right? Because I didn't. Well, I just did a video about it, but basically
Yes,
that
I watched the
I.
video.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I
Basically,
want to
I
talk
I
about it.
should have done a social contract to explain some things that I didn't, and then it ended up being kind of like I don't know, a game that was rudderless, I would call it. A rudderless game. Maybe it's supposed to be rudderless, but that's not the game I wanted. Hey,
Yes,
I can hear you. 2 seconds.
you can hear me. Okay, you can still hear me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to talk. I watched your video, and if you're not subscribed to Feel the Trail, you should be. You know what? I can even like put like a link to his channel, I guess, right here in the fucking chat.
Oh, easy.
If my mouse, when I'm on standing desk mode, my mouse is a bit too the wire of my mouse is a bit too short.
Yeah.
I need to do something. Oh, that's what I was just trying to figure out, like what I want to do today. That's what I wanted to do.
You have a whole topic written on your thing and everything.
Yes, I do. Well, I try to have topics on those shows. But
Yeah.
before we go into that, I want to talk about like the video that you put up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Because like
excited.
this whole like social contract thing, like I
Yeah.
mentioned before, like that's something like I wasn't too hot about. I said, yeah, why do we need that, right? We just agree on the rules in session 0 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's also like the term social contract that kind of like turned me off
Hmm.
because of the whole like in other
It does sound
circumstances.
a little bit, progressive, we'll call it.
Well, like the old concept of social contract is like, well, you have to pay taxes because you're born, right?
I
By
didn't know
being
that.
born, you agree to the social contract, and I'm always
Yeah.
like,
So it's
yeah,
like
fuck
it's
you.
like an implied contract for being in society. That's kind of
Yeah,
what it's meant
exactly.
to be. Okay.
That's where the term come from. Usually, like that's usually like what I was used to hear this
Hmm.
term, which is like kind of bullshit, right?
Justify theft.
Exactly.
Bastards.
Like I don't want to fucking pay tax for like everything
Yeah.
like all the money the government steal from me, used
Yeah,
for stuff I hate and I abhor, right? Just like
I agree.
which is pretty much anything. But anyway,
They use my money in ways I don't want them to. It's a
exactly,
bummer.
exactly to finance some stuff that I'm
Yeah.
actively opposed to, right? But
Yep.
so I guess
Should
maybe there
we
was a
should
bit
we
of that as
talk
well.
about how to make a government be like voluntary taxes where you can funnel your funds into whatever program you wish you want?
We could at some point, but that maybe not be the show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm thinking maybe at some point I should do like a show like that is not
I'll
about
wait. I'll
role
wait till
playing
you're.
game, a
I'll
more
wait till
regular
you're
one.
half a bottle in, and then we'll have a
Yes,
Wednesday show.
exactly. Speaking of which, should
Yeah.
what am I drinking tonight? Am I going bourbon or wine? I think I'm gonna go. I'm
You're
gonna be
going.
quiet
Oh,
about it.
that's a good question. I don't know. Half of you wants bourbon, and the other half wants wine. I think.
Could I mix both?
I guess it makes as much sense as bourbon and maple syrup.
Yeah, I guess. No, I guess I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be a good boy tonight. I'm gonna stick with wine,
Oh,
which doesn't count.
so you're not drinking tonight. I got it.
I'm not drinking. I'm just like
Yeah,
just wine.
I got you.
Yeah,
Professionalism.
exactly. I'm trying to stay sober for a few
Mm.
days. So, wine doesn't count.
All right. I'm sorry I keep derailing you.
No, but like, yeah, no, that's something I was thinking at some point. Like maybe I should do a show, maybe like once a month and stuff like that. Like it's like a random show, not about role playing. Like kind of like let's talk about any kind of fucking
Yeah,
bullshit,
just
right?
get a
Let's
good
just shoot the
forum
shit.
going for the community. I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's talk about politics and philosophy and
Sure.
stuff like that. Not current affair because that's fucking boring as shit.
Yeah.
Especially since it doesn't matter.
Or
And it's
like,
always
what's a
very
good,
local.
the classic what movies are good discussion.
Yeah, I'd rather not. But
Yeah.
like the no, like yeah. What would be a good form of government, and what can we go from the mess we are to
Find out
getting my
next
channel
time.
canceled?
Find out next time Max is hammered. We'll
Exactly.
talk all about it.
Yeah, I didn't let the other stream from Wednesday up.
Yeah.
I'll make it private. But yeah. Anyway, I was fucking that
That's
happened. But I'm not drinking tonight. I'm just sticking with wine.
good.
Hello, Nicolas Camargo in the forms. By the way, I didn't say hello to people. Yeah, do we need different minutes? Yeah, game mindset or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. Oh, and thank you for the cover. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's cover art. What do you think? Did you see it? Or you didn't
What are
join
we
yet? Eh?
talking about?
Oh, I showed the. I'll share it again.
Okay.
Just for you and the other
Sorry,
person
I
that
missed
joined.
it.
Look at that.
Ooh. Oh, Nicholas
Isn't
drew
that
that?
what? No,
Nicholas drew that?
that's my lieutenant that
Oh, right on.
sent that to me. But and it's not final. But
That's badass.
I think it's the right direction. I think it's pretty sexy.
Also very printable.
Yeah. Well, we still like we're still discussing about some detail about like are we going full color? Are we gonna do like 2-pass printing? Are we gonna go just black and white? So we're experimenting a bit with stuff. But we'll see.
Get a good.
I'm quite partial to 2-pass printing, which for people who don't know, it's like you do one color and black and white and black basically. That's why it's called 2-pass.
Yeah.
But
Seems good.
yeah.
Yeah, I like for art. I don't know if you're doing art, but yeah, you're probably not doing art, right? You got an art guy?
Oh yeah, I gotta my buddy, like my partner is my art guy.
Okay. I mean, obviously, we just talked about that. It's the guy who made the cover.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm here. I got hot takes all day. You know.
Yes. Yeah. Do those questions. I'm kind of tired of this any kind of BS stream. Most can stay on topic to save their life. Yeah, I try to stay on topic here. Like now, like when we're beginning the stream, right? We're just like getting warmed up, so
yeah,
we shoot the shit a bit, right? Just like
get your cocktails right now. This is when you should be getting your cocktails, getting
exactly. And also we give a chance for people to join, right? A lot of people like it takes a little time to get the notification and then like to realize, oh, it's time for tear off your skin, and then to actually take the skin off, right? That's not something you can do just in an instant, right?
This is
It takes a process.
Can you tell him I have a Texan?
A Texan.
It's called,
yeah, it's a Texan drinking a Texan.
I'm having a Texan right now.
It's a bit more erotic,
I guess. Who are you calling a moron? No.
I didn't say moron, but I say homoerotic.
Homoerotic. Okay, good. That's better.
Hello, Shauner. You changed your logo, eh? Not a dead end, not dead end. Yes, we'll get to that. Stay on topic is a stupid meme for politician. Real conversation are chaotic and dynamic. Yeah, and here that's where we are for the real conversation, right? I'm gonna tell you
if there's one thing politicians do, it's talk about the topic they're asked about.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, the social contract thing, like I wasn't too out on the idea, and like I said, like maybe because of the name and stuff like that, but now like as we game more and we include more people in our group and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I realized that there's a reason for it. Shauner was right again, right? Just like
Shauner was right. God,
fuck's sake,
it's getting annoying. There's no living with him now.
Yeah. But and like you were talking in your video that how it should have maybe like described better in the social contract that you want to do time skip and stuff like that. That could have been an option. Like, you could have said like, you know what, we're gonna go through many years in this 2 hour, so maybe accept expect about every half hour.
My
A
push
time
is a
skip.
time skip. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite, but that would be reasonable assumption. Might be like every 45 minutes or whatever, right? Just like
Yeah.
that's something that could have been discussed for sure. But I think there's also like a problem of tone, because if you want to have like this game that lasts many years, right? We had like some character, right? It's not really play. It was really a character thing that we're still in the mindset of getting rescued, getting out of there, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that could have been beaten down, like in the session 0 or in the social
Well,
contract. You're gonna be there for many years, so there's no perspective of
but that's
being
cool
rescued. There's no,
though. But that
yeah,
would be cool. Like if you're really think you're about to escape, then I go, okay, well, 5 years just passed. You're like, oh, I'd really like to escape.
yes. So
You're probably
you
going
you could
through an
still
arc.
you
You
could
know what I
still
mean?
have come with could still have come with this character that
Hmm.
on the first few days, right? It's still like, oh, we're gonna get out of there and stuff like that, and then you do this time skip, and then, like having plan ahead with the player and tell them like we're gonna do all those time skip. Then we could have gone in the mindset of like you said, every time when it's our turn, we reestablish. We basically like evolving the character in a big way, right?
Yeah.
And we get ready for that. You say like, okay, now there's the time skip. Okay, now we're and maybe 2 weeks maybe was a bit of too short of a time skip.
It
But
was,
in
but I
that
was
case,
like, I'm
you,
maybe. I mean, is the move to advance it 5 years? Like, I see. I was kind of in the middle of like, I'm about to just throw a big
yeah,
wrench into everything. And
yeah.
I guess I just kind of half-assed it, which was not the move. You're right. I should have
Well,
been
I
like,
think I think
five
it's
years pass. What happens?
yeah. I think like we should have been better prepared. And you have told me
Mhm.
that you wanted to do a lot of those time skip and stuff like that at the time, and kind of made my character and function at that too.
Mm.
But
I don't know that I
uh,
told. I'm not sure if Rick knew.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's the thing. Like
I think I mentioned it to Crispy, but I'm not sure.
so I think there's a maybe yes something could have like be described like established a little more in like session 0 social contract whatever, like one of
Yeah.
those, right? And tone, yeah, telling about the tone, right? Okay, we're gonna go to like you're gonna go to the fucking life of those characters. They're gonna be sent out on the planet, and it's not gonna be like a few days adventure. We're gonna go through
Hmm.
fucking like the whole life basically until like they become old men, and we're gonna
Yeah.
experiment like what did they do to their whole life there on the prison planet.
It kind of sounds like a cooler game, right? Let's go and shot it.
Yeah. No, Sean,
It's
what are
like
you doing?
but I should have said it's like I want this game to go through like years and years. Like I should have made that very clear instead of just not tell you. Whatever.
How you been, Sean?
Good. I skipped the part when you guys skipped 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw the before and then I saw the after. And you guys were like, no one liked the 2 week
No one
notice
liked
or
it.
whatever.
No one liked
Yeah.
it.
No,
Were,
like,
were you guys just staying in the same place for 2 weeks?
but that's
Just,
the thing. We kind of got caught with our pants down, like,
Yeah.
and
But yes, that's what they did.
yeah, yeah,
or was
basically.
or
And I
was
think,
Effectively
the
in the story,
message
that's what happened.
the message wasn't clear enough? We are going to go 2 weeks into the future now.
yeah, I think, like, to be honest, I think like this could have been like if the time scale had been delayed just a little bit, just after we would have caught up with Rick's character, because
Mhm.
like me and Crispy going back, we are already discussing like making plan for the future. Like I was already like talking like we need to move out of there. The radar are gonna come back. We need to move out to the mountain. Then we could have like talked about that to Rick, and then you can say like, okay, 2 weeks have passed, and then we're already been aligned on a kind of like mid-term, long-term plan.
I'm gonna pull a Shauner here.
Yeah.
So in a movie, if someone's
Yeah.
walking towards the camp and says, we should go to the mountains
Yeah.
and we should do this, are they in the movie? Are they then going to meet up with the other guy and says, we should definitely go live in the mountains? We should do
But
this. Or
you,
is it
you,
going
you have
to
to
like fade
you
to the
have to
next
remember
scene
also
and
like
they're in the mountains?
we
You
often
know what I mean?
compare to movie, but we have to remember that movies are
Yeah.
pre-written, and they also have like, the advantage of editing. Like those scenes would be left on the cutting floor or trimmed down in the script, right? But now because
Yeah.
we make stuff on the fly, we don't have this luxury. So if we want the plot to go forward, we have to push it forward in that direction.
And I think if
was
I
Rick
would
with
have,
you guys?
yeah,
Yes.
he was playing on you.
All
I
three
think
of you
if
guys were together? Because I
Oh,
thought his character was unconscious or
no, the
dying,
character,
bleeding
his
out.
characters were still by the river when we were like going after the old man, right?
Yeah. He got away
Okay.
from. He had just gotten away from some critter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I had set up the expectation that after a time skip, you guys anchor the next scene really hard and you describe what happens, then that kind of takes care of that part that you think was missing. You know what I mean?
Yes, that would have been, that would have done it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been another way to go about it. I agree.
Yeah.
I think the way I've done it is in the past I would hint, do you guys still want to role play this part? Or is it okay if we go ahead 2 weeks in the future? Something like that.
How does that hint? What does a hint look like?
And then I get a hint.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys want to do?
What do you guys want to do for 2 weeks?
No, usually in a practice session, one of the players will say, we're not going to be doing this for like 2 weeks, are we? And I'll say, no, we can fast forward if you want.
Yeah.
Because some people don't know how to role play for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Without getting cabin fever on an airplane or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and why would you want to?
But
Yeah.
then they gotta figure out what they did for 2 weeks and why they're even still together after 2 weeks.
I'm a big fan of time skip. I like, and also like something you can do is trying to kind of telegraph them, right?
What does that look like? I'm curious to hear what a telegraphing a time skip sounds like.
You start looking at your watch, you're rolling your eyes.
Guys.
No, but you kind of telegraph them, but like you kind of speed up the tempo. Like you.
How do they do it on TV?
It's hard to do. They have like a montage of like days and
they got this one.
You say something like
they got this one, or
you say something like it looks like it's going to be a hot summer.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, the whole summer? Like, yeah, the whole summer will be hot.
No, but it's like
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
Like you when you go back to your narration, that's when like, you accelerate like the passage of time, right? Just like instead of like so you let the player know like, okay, now we're gonna speed up a bit, and then like, but also you want to do like in a way like I remember like in the Witch of the Duncan Vale, like I tried to do that with the knight, right?
Yes.
It didn't succeed too well, but you know at some point
I wasn't having
like
I
was establishing, okay, now like the night is quiet, and then I was trying to feed like, okay, we're passing time now, right? Just like I forgot what I said, like, oh, the rain stopped.
You guys are all sleepy.
Night. Like, well, yeah, they already went to bed and stuff like that. And then at some point I went, and now like the birds are chirping in the morning. But now like Phil said I didn't want to go to bed, so we had a bit of retcon there.
I said, you shut your mouth when you're time skipping, Max.
Yeah, but I was trying. I was trying. That was I was trying to like this. Yes, I was trying to do this this soft time skip where like I'm showing, okay, time is passing, but like in the same time leaving you a space to say like if you want to interrupt and interject something right now, you have to do it, right? You have to speak your mind or stay quiet forever.
Yeah, speak your mind. Anyone have any last regards, last rights?
And you did it. Maybe one sentence too late, but you know, like I'll run with it. I'm just like, hey, let's do your freaking thing. Doesn't matter.
The maybe the move is like bedtimes. Get a good time skip. It would have been cool to like role play out the whole first night.
Yeah, but
see how you guys.
Here's the thing. You guys are playing a different system in each game, sometimes with different players. So you don't have like
you don't have a groove. System.
You don't have a groove. You don't have the eye contact so that everyone knows when it's time to fast travel to next morning. Because everyone knows this is going to be boring if we sit through this part. So it's just automatically assumed. Go to the next action scene.
Yeah.
You know, the pterodactyl's biting someone's head off early in the morning.
Yeah. Early in the morning.
Yeah.
2 weeks pass. You don't have a head now. From back a year ago.
You lost an arm.
In Morrowind, you just stand somewhere and wait for hours, and the game does random encounters, and sometimes it stops the wait in case a bug is nipping at your ankle or something.
How cool would it be if after I do a time skip, someone says, during the 2 weeks, I lost an arm? Like, oh, you're so awesome. What an alpha move, Max.
It would be,
You can do a quick rehash. how dirty your apartment got because
My
there's
wound
no
got
maid
gangrene.
service.
Yeah.
We had to cut my leg off.
I'm laying in a
if you're
cot waiting for
diseased.
death.
Yeah, if your arm was broken, did it ever get set or
Yeah,
what?
that'd be cool.
Can you imagine?
That'd
Like,
be
when
cool.
you take
Time
it, like,
skipping through
like-
injuries. That's cool.
yeah. So 2 weeks pass. Oh yeah, I got gangrene. Now I'm waiting to die. Oh, I'm dying. It's like almost like I don't want to be in that game anymore.
You just kill yourself to get out.
I killed myself in a time skip.
Like in Skyrim, the NPCs wait for you to come back, and then you find out if they're dying or if they're still the same. But they don't do anything until you come back
No,
to get updates.
the old world is on pause. But that's also how it felt, right? Just like we just didn't handle it too well.
It would have been better for me to, for sure, like spend more time narrating the time skip just to give you guys even an idea as to what the hell you were gonna do.
And I think it's kind of rough. Also,
Did you guys ever
I
have a
like time skip.
sleepover in any of your games?
Yes. In The Witcher,
Yeah,
there was one.
Did you have practice? Okay.
No, we should have, but
Then you kind of hint. Okay, we're going sleepy by.
Yeah.
We set up a campfire. We're going in our blankies.
but then you have one character that doesn't want to sleep because
We're trying to play a game every week.
Now,
It's hard to
one guy can stay up and do
practice.
guard work or something.
You practice while doing.
Yeah.
Learn on the job.
Yeah, exactly. You learn how to become a smith by smithing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
of course. Of course.
Do a live stream of just grinding.
Yeah.
That'd be so boring. I made another.
I don't know what I'm doing. I just hit things. I'm learning.
By the end of the stream, you're level 100 blacksmith. I'm making diamonds.
Check out this dragon bone sword.
So Phil, it's your turn. What do you do? Well, I make an iron dagger. Next turn, well, I make another iron dagger.
Yeah. How's my iron? You're good.
Yeah, you got enough.
I'm using this good chisel to make my own chisel from scratch.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the most efficient way to do. You take a chisel that you already have, and then you can say, "Well, I make this chisel from another chisel that I had."
Use a hammer to make a chisel, and then you hit it when the metal's cold. The chisel cracks. Now you have to go buy more metal. Try again.
Yeah.
Hit it when it's yellow, not when it's purple.
I think also like the multiple time skip in one session, in a 2-hour session, that might have been ambitious.
Mm-hmm. It was meant to be a 3-session game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I don't mean 2 hours, but it's meant to be like a 6-hour game.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think that if it's a 6-hour game, that first one is less bad. I mean, like, because it was kind of a big stretch.
Yep.
But like your act 1 in a 6-hour game is going to be like an hour and a half. So.
But now everybody wants to get themselves killed.
Yeah. Everyone died, so I guess that's that. Not you. Should I just run you and then go over to Rick being a doctor slave?
No, yeah, maybe. Or with that would be the right time for a time skip. Let's do 10 years later.
Oh yeah.
New character, like some new character, like Ted is still like living there on the planet. The doctor has been living with the tribe like as a slave for all those years, maybe 5 years later, and then there's a new character coming up on a drop ship.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. You are now the crazy old hermit living on the planet, waiting for pods to come.
Yeah,
you've almost trained one of the beasts.
Yeah. There's a pod and I lost an arm.
You definitely lost an arm. Yeah.
There's a pod that dropped near my hut on the mountain, and most people in there like are in bad shape. But I know where we can find a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But is it with the tribe? There you go. There you go.
Can I ask secret answers to your hell world?
Yeah.
How many people lived on the planet before the pod dropped?
You mean before the few people?
Before the beginning of the game, how many people are living on that planet?
It's probably in the thousands.
How many cities are there on the planet?
I don't know.
Or does it just drop to the same place?
They're just like little like camp, right?
Yeah, it's more of a. It's meant to be a moon, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's like
that changed everything.
It's a moon like Endor.
Yeah, next to it, like orbiting a gas giant.
Were there dinosaurs with laser beams attached?
But I never mentioned the gas giant once.
No, there's no electronics. Nothing electronics.
Yeah, there's no electronics.
Yeah. Like Jacob was meant to say, "Oh, is this a space adventure?" Yeah, it was like a bunch of people like sent as prisoner on a prison planet, like it's a jungle planet.
World.
Exactly, a prison world. You just like drop there on a drop ship and basically left to your own device. So
I was thinking of the Avatar movie planet where you had to breathe, otherwise you die. You guys weren't given masks, were you?
No, it's breathable.
Yeah.
Yeah. The planet in Avatar, you had to wear a mask or something, like a scuba mask.
Yeah, we didn't have like the map shrinking, or maybe we did.
It's like a bus on balloons. Bus with balloons. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Like I was obviously gonna make up a bunch of it. I didn't prepare an entire world. Just prepared like an atmosphere, and I had a good idea. A couple critters that could show up.
Yeah, but like
one
you
of
said,
them showed up.
And you said in your video, like, you had the intention of this being like more like a survival game and stuff like that, where things are challenging and stuff like that. And I think like we didn't necessarily go like in as a group with that mindset, like because we at some point like in session 2, like it went very aggressive, right? No, let's go fucking like, and I was trying to talk some sense to the guy, right? That's a fucking bad idea, right? Just no, let's go.
I was getting flashbacks.
Two of you.
I was getting flashbacks to that heist game because I was like, maybe we should just survive, right, guys? And you're like, nope, we're gonna kill ourselves. And I was like,
exactly.
All right.
You reminisce
well, in the
about
heist game, I was the one pushing forward, but
and I was like, I know my name's Crazy Johnny, but
that would have been a fun NPC to include, Crazy Johnny, there in the. Because you're the one that had, like, in the ice game, you're the one that was moving away when we're doing all the crazy shit, right? And trying to say, well, I'm fucking leaving those motherfuckers. I'm going back to the ship. So you could have the one that could have survived and be sent to hell.
But he had to survive. You see that in a movie. That guy's alive.
Yeah.
In that game, how far did the players travel from the pod after it landed or crashed in the tree thing?
Well, not far at all.
They made their camp like on the pod.
Yeah. Which I was against, but that's the old because like before the time skip, we were just on the first day basically, right?
First few hours.
Yeah. Because you were mostly on the riverbank that I remember.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. When I say on the pod, I mean within like 100 feet of the pod.
The pod did sink in this river that was not deep enough.
Because in my brain, I kept thinking that the planet looks just like the background behind Phil that he had.
Yeah,
it's supposed to.
So I kept looking at that background.
Except that's ice behind you.
Well, not this one. Here, I'll switch it up since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So I figured the water was probably 30 feet deep at the deepest.
This is the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's cliffs on both sides, and wade through the water along the edges until you get to some amazing town with crazy people.
I wish there was
a lot of eels. Go back to Thunder. That you got all those pointing.
Johnny's got a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I regret there not being a waterfall that the pod fell off of while they were riding it.
See, I thought there was going to be one of those.
Such a clear thing that should happen.
It would just go off a waterfall with some guys in it, some guys hanging on the outside of it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry.
There was nothing to be sorry about. Like I said, we do those games. We do those games. We experiment stuff and we try out stuff, right? And then we learn from it, right? So it's all good.
Yes.
So, like, we don't like those games are not meant to be like oh, watch those. Those are gonna be like the best fucking thing you ever seen. It's like top grade. No, it's like we're trying
No,
stuff out.
you
We're trying to
guys
figure out
were
stuff out, right? Just like, and we're trying to show
Yeah.
like the way we do stuff, and then
You're-
that's why we have the discussion after. Like, well, what worked, what didn't work. We talk about it. We dissect the game, and we try to nitpick and stuff like that, right?
yeah.
That's the whole point. Like,
Or blast like nuclear bomb it. We don't have to use a scalpel sometimes on one, some of them. This one, I think there were major issues. So, like, sometimes I have major issues that I learn from.
Yeah.
Still working on that before I fine tune anything.
Yeah, and at some point we'll go back to it and we'll try something else, and then we'll figure, oh, okay, that
I definitely think we should return to hell, and that's the name of the.
Yeah, return to hell.
A return to hell.
Yeah, I'll be down.
Yeah,
but and
well, your character exists, so
yeah, and the well, with an arm and less now, but
yeah,
I like the idea of
potentially writing
characters. I like the idea of new characters being kids after 10 or 12 years or whatever.
Oh yeah, what if you had your kid there?
Mike,
what if you had a kid?
Is there a woman there?
What if you aged
There
faster?
was one. Yeah, there was one, but like that's something like I was wondering about, right? Just because it's kind of weird.
Like a hot babes at least.
But it's a whole planet.
Probably not.
I mean,
the whole planet, but they all convict, no?
Well, so I tried to show this
no one's there saying I'm innocent. I don't belong here.
I tried to show the Empire as a bit of like a sort of authoritarian, sort of liberal dystopia with those like announcements at the beginning. I was like, we regret that you weren't able to integrate into our diverse culture and like shit like that.
Yeah, so, like pretend compassion, right?
Why wouldn't they put? You're saying women can't be in a men's prison? I mean, how dare you?
I like Phil's.
Oh, because like that's a worse sentence than just being like sent in a prison planet, right?
It's but
because you're gonna be sent there to be well, you know, this word.
One of the good things about Hell World is you don't have to pay for those prisoners anymore.
Yeah.
It's
and their baby.
It's like a very pragmatic,
but then
solution, but it's draped in all this like progressive.
What if a convict that are sent to hell can bring their wife with them if they have them?
Yeah,
it's like, no, you can recreate like Australia, basically, after a few generations.
Yeah, I probably should just made dudes.
Nicolas said I didn't watch the full episode, but maybe she wasn't a real woman. That's a
good point.
Nobody checked. But where they're called? No, there was no cult there. A crazy cult believing on salvation would be very fitting. Well, maybe there was, but we didn't
see one.
Yeah, they want to make Australia out of hell. Yes, I think that would be like fitting. Yeah. So, and the topic for tonight also like was inspired by this game as well, because we're talking about a bit on the starting of the first session where we're in the pod and stuff like that, right? And that's why I'm talking about like making situation challenging, but not making them dead end, like being able to let the players still be active, right? And I think it was really hard because now like you're in this pod that has been dropped on the planet, and we're in a system that we know is quite lethal, and we're dropped there as prisoner. So even if you want to 4D stuff, right, you don't want to break the very similitude of the so I cannot say like, oh, I look in my
pouch that I keep forgetting to mention
and a rope and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. This is something that I keep forgetting to mention. There's like a one time and I don't know if it was just one time, but there's a moment where like someone says oh, these plants, they're blue. I think it was Doc actually, and he says well, you can eat them. They're edible. And I'm like, you're kind of solving hunger right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should 4D out my hunger issue.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
so you can't like 4D out all of the conflict. You know,
the retcon stuff. Yeah. Well, actually,
characters can always be wrong, right? Just like there's that thing as well. Your character can believe, but your character can be wrong, right?
I was thinking that, so I could just
wrong
make
all
poison. As soon as you eat it, you're blowing up like a.
But that's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all like those prison scene and stuff like that, right? You want to like you're in prison and you assume that the people setting up the prison are going to be like trying to do a good job of preventing you from escaping. So like, can you really just like 4D and like and co-create stuff that like make it your escape too easy, right? It's not easy, right? You just like you're in prison and stuff like that. You should have to work with it. So it's going to be kind of a grind, right? So if you put character in a situation like that, right, then the player kind of say, well, okay, I'm in prison. Now I imagine how it would be in prison, and I put myself there in the mindset of my character because I'm a role player.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do? Well, then it's the daily grind. It's like, well, then you go to sleep on your cot, and then you get up, and then you go in line for the cafeteria, and just like that's fucking prison life. It's fucking monotone and boring and stuff like that. If nothing happened, then you can maybe pick fight with other convicts and stuff like that. But like if the plan of the session is to escape, well,
then it
like
becomes
the GM will have like leave some breadcrumb to kind of give a license for the player to grab them, I think, right? Just like,
I guess. Do you? I don't know. But you're saying like, can you 4D a breadcrumbs to escape?
Well, I think like if
you're saying that's cheating,
I think it like it's delicate, right?
Yeah,
because it's pushing it a bit too far. Like I think at that point it almost kind of be like I wouldn't necessarily dare, right? It kind of go back on the BS because like on the BS of the GM, right? To you have to give me like just give me a little something to hang on, right? Just like I said, like oh, you have like if you had described the pod with like shoddily constructed with wire hanging stuff like that, like they don't care and stuff like that, then oh, I can rip the wire of the like, give me a little something there, right? Just like that's gonna give me like a little door to enter. At some point, if you put me in a box with all the door closed, right? Then well, I'm gonna be in that box. I'm gonna wait until something happened because like you left me nothing. You left me like no opening.
To me, that's chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the players to do something, and then they're waiting for you to do something, and you're like, okay, I guess I'll have to narrate something.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like we always like try to promote like player being active and doing stuff and thing like that. But as a GM, you can push it too far and create a situation that kind of cock block your player on too many levels, right? And it's too sterile, right? Just exactly. You need to have like some ingredient to make them to cook a stew, right?
I'd say at the beginning of the game, all the characters are handcuffed to their chairs.
Yeah.
But I'll mistake when I say that. I make a mistake because other players are thinking, well, okay, like regular handcuffs. I have a thing to pick the lock. I have a key, and they're out running around and stuff. No, I'm in my mind. I'm thinking they put their arms on the armrest and these cuffs come over their arms,
cuffs,
and they can't move their legs or feet or arms or anything.
Yeah,
maybe it goes around their neck too. Maybe it's got explosive bolts on the thing. Their head pops off if they try to escape.
Yeah, they're like, I chew through the zip tie and I'm out.
There's a point where
one guy's like,
you can build a.
I sneak out my arm from the thing.
I do one of these.
That's when you're vetting your players to see if they're willing to role play in a, like when you call your planet hell. I'm already, as a player, I'm thinking there's no food on this planet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just show up and like, I whip out my Ziploc baggie of gummy bears that I brought with me. No, that's not going to happen.
No, exactly.
Trade you some trail mix.
Like I would like, I could say like, well, like you stirred a knife right before going on. Like, it's kind of pushing it, right?
Yeah.
Because I've had players say I pull out a Subway sandwich that I had in a bag, and I'm like, mental note: don't invite this guy back to the game.
The practice session.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like,
you guys are learning on live streams though, so you're going one step beyond what I do.
Yeah. But
while telling everyone we're better than them.
Exactly.
But here's the thing: people watch the videos out of context and they think, "What is this? What are they doing?" They don't watch the whole video, and they just tune out, and they they don't get it. They don't understand what the context was.
Smart.
Because I'll do practice sessions and people think, is that how he really role plays? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, the like what you're describing, Shauna, right? Like, the player, like, I'm gonna describe your handcuff, and you have like all those things. At some point, you can like craft as a GM with your description a situation that basically tell your player like, well, there's nothing you can do right now, right?
Instead of saying, you guys cannot escape from my trap.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try, you cannot get out of my cufflink.
Yeah.
I'll say, all of your movable body parts are totally restricted by.
You got your toe cuffs on.
Yeah. Let's say like let's start like a vampire campaign, and we're gonna start a campaign when your character has been put in the coffin and buried under like 6 feet of concrete.
Oh, then I would say and action, and just
and
let
action.
the player.
Exactly.
Let the player.
You're just like, well,
they've seen enough movies to know how to get out of that trap, right?
How do you get out of that trap, Sean?
Can you get out of the trap?
Are they a vampire? Or are they still mortal?
No, they're super vampire.
They are a vampire?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're buried in a coffin?
Under 6 feet of concrete.
Oh, concrete.
Yes.
I didn't hear that part.
Well, you got to go through the bottom.
They'll just go into hibernation. They'll just go into super space
so
alien
that's your
hibernation.
game. Like, just like, well,
they're gonna wait 100 years when they open the time capsule at the cornerstone of some building that's been there forever, and they're doing the jackhammer, and the guy in the vampire in the coffin, like, he's like, oh, a rescue, and he's like, as soon the construction guys are like, what about this mess we made with the flooring? We're gonna tomorrow we'll put it
your
back
first
tomorrow.
turn you say like, well,
so in the night is when my guy just goes
and then one of them turns back and goes, I think I left my phone over there.
You do your first turn, you go like, I sleep for 400 years, and then the gym, okay, 400 years later you're still in the coffin, starting to rot a bit.
400 years later?
It's your turn again. Like, after 80, picking up. What's
80 to 100 years.
No.
Vampires die after 80 years without any feeding. They can't what do they call it? They can't
I don't know.
What is it the turtles do?
Hibernate.
They can't hibernate for that long.
Depends on the system.
Yeah, depends on the system.
I mean, if one drop of human blood drips on them or something, they just instantly start moisturizing.
But in what they can
grab the guy's throat real quick.
They can be in torpor for century.
Yeah.
No, the guy who goes back to his phone. That's when the Dracula guy's standing there.
And then he's like,
he leans over the Samsung and it's or the Motorola and it does the face match thing.
Yeah.
And he's looking at it because it's it's a modern phone.
And there's a picture
before being buried, like 40 Igor coming to save you. But then at that point also, you're like, it's almost like, well, the game then is not about like the vampire that's been buried. Like now, like your characters should be like this fucking lackey, right?
Should probably be playing Igor,
yeah, which would be a cool game as well.
That would be a cool game.
Yeah, and my character can look for his lackey who's long gone. No, I'm only on the ground. 6 feet of concrete. I'm only in the ground for maybe 100 years, I guess.
Yeah.
The concrete helped keep me moisturized.
Then that's not how concrete works.
It trapped in my body heat.
Yeah,
it's very caustic. But you better have like
a very fresh. That's what he says.
No, but you get what I mean. Like I think that, and I think especially like in beginning of session, right? I get the appeal of wanting to create like a challenging situation.
Mm-hmm.
But especially when character like we just like start a session with new character and stuff like that we don't really know very well, right? And it's like we have already a lot. Like we have to get in the skin of our character and stuff like that, get in the mindset of the character and stuff like that.
Tear it off.
Yeah. I think it's good to have stuff that happen because it gets the ball rolling. But
as a player, I push. I want to go forward in the game, not idle, sit around, look in my backpack to see stuff I have from my past. I want to be I want that stuff lost. I don't have that anymore. And now I'm
Mm-hmm.
just going ahead with what happens next. Then what happens? Then what happens?
Yeah.
Instead of
But that's what I'm
focusing
saying.
on
If you're
stuff
just
I
like
might have brought with me from
if like when the GM establishes an initial situation and you're just like in that box with no door, right? Just like
a box
you
with
can
no
spend a
door.
few turns like, well, I observed the box, I scratch at the wall, like, and then like he always like give you like block, right? You always say like, well, the wall are very
Well, you
is
role play.
thick steel, right?
I would role play that. I would role play before that happens, so the player has a chance to role play.
Yes,
Before
that's
they're
what we're talking.
condemned or exiled to
That's what
the
we're talking about,
phantoms.
right? That's what we're talking about. Like we're talking like as a GM, like you don't want to start the game there because that's too restrictive and you leave no place for your player to do
Yeah,
anything with their character.
you gotta get that out. You have to get them out of there somehow quick. Otherwise, the player's bored.
So
Well,
how hard?
I guess I'm trapped here.
How hard can you make an encounter at the start before you've trapped your player characters?
Well, that's the thing too. You could start your character in the box, right? And you could give them a few turns where they're gonna observe the box and try to figure out some stuff. Maybe interact with one another and stuff like that. If there are multiple in the box too, you could have like the whole fucking session in the box, but that's just gonna be them like talking amongst themselves, right? And maybe fighting among themselves. Could be an interesting game, like the cube. But but at some point, like if there's nothing happening and the player are just like, well, then it's like now, oh, there's a noise outside, and now like one of the wall of the box is cracking. So all of a sudden, it's like it's you at some point to do something, right?
But see, that in my head makes the players not want to do stuff because they think, oh, okay, the GM's going to do something.
Yeah, it's a cliche.
It's like, oh, here he comes. Here it comes. Now I don't have to do that thing I was thinking about because he's breaking the box for me,
Yeah, but you put them in
on the tone, the mood,
box, right?
the setting, all that stuff.
Like yes, but at some point,
if you put the character in an unbreakable box, right, and they try a few turns to figure out way to break it, and then you always like say, well, no, it cannot be broken. Well, then you will have to be the one breaking the box.
That's fine.
Unless you really
tell
want
me, GM, how to break my box.
I'm breaking it. Listen, I'm breaking it. Yes.
If it's an escape room, then the player's got to do all the things.
No.
And then the announcer in the box says, "That will be enough, Mr. Anderson."
But in the escape room, that's the thing. You have something to get the ball rolling. You have something to hang out to, right? You're not gonna be in an empty box with nothing. There's gonna be like an empty box and a red bottle, right?
A little slit in the wall, slit in the concrete wall opens up, and a tray of food or a tray of guns or chainsaws, whatever, comes out, and you grab it, and you try to reach your hand in there and escape before the thing closes back up again.
Yeah,
and
you start like in the prison, like an old boy.
So you got interaction with an NPC and you slip him something. Maybe you pull out a dollar bill from your orange prison suit somehow and you give it to the guy, and $1 is like, worth more than $1.
Let me see what the chat is saying.
In the commissary.
But then the GM's like, curses, they've introduced money into my game.
I would say...
Let me look at the chat. The Dark Soul thing is of the unbeatable boss in the first 10 minutes doesn't work well in RPG, I think. Unless you're role-playing DS and you respawn, I suppose. I think you can do it in RPG. If you want to specifically say, like, express to the player, like, don't try to fight everything you meet. It's all right to run away, right? Because that's the lesson that Dark Soul tried to teach you. That it's okay to run away.
Yeah, I've watched you play that game. You ran away lots of times and then came back to still kill the thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. You were running around with no shirt on or no underwears. I don't remember. You
didn't
have any armor.
That's how I like to play naked, because I like to roll fast and not get hit. Yeah. Man, it's been a while since I played Dark Soul. Almost a year. But
or what if the escape box just over time the GM just says, now it's now the next day, and the thing opens up and you're just let out. You don't even have to worry about how you got out. You're gonna be
time skip them.
And there's like,
smart.
You're now somewhere else or whatever. You died. Maybe you died in the box and you're on another plane of existence or something.
maybe the
Your
bugs.
AI was put into a computer or
I should have
droid.
just left that box up there forever. Just let you guys figure out something. Because if Crispy's down there,
Yeah,
then you guys can like start. He could maybe get a rope up to you somehow.
I didn't
no rope.
I didn't want the Robinson family going on that planet.
There's
I was
vines.
getting
You
out.
could say there's vines.
I was getting out of that thing, right? I was in the process of getting out.
So you were getting out of the box. What's the problem?
Took it too long.
You did.
He was looking for ropes from the parachutes and maybe climb down with the rope or.
Yeah.
So in the game,
how tall were those trees that the thing was?
They were
trapped
25
up?
feet up. I think it was another 25 feet
25
to the
feet.
top.
Yeah, that's right.
But in that game, and this is the thing that I should have expressed in the social contract, which was another one of my points in the game. I wanted everything you did to take a physical toll on you or take something from you because it's so hard to live here.
Yeah.
So
there goes
someone jumps out of the pod and takes 3 damage. Then I'm thinking, okay, this is the toll to get out of the pod.
Yeah.
Jump out of the pod, take 3 damage, or find some way to climb down the pod.
Yeah. How did you decide on 3 damage?
I pulled it out of my ass.
You didn't roll or anything?
Nope.
I forgot. Because like I felt like 3 damage was pretty low for jumping 25 feet in the water.
Yeah, but in the shallow water.
In the shallow water, yeah.
That's how shallow the water is.
Like that's again, like for me, the way you describe it, 25 feet from, and then like there's a river downstairs with rocks poking out. Like you're saying, like for me, like you were telling me, like that's not the solution. Don't jump out of the river, right?
Well, I want you to think it's dangerous.
Your words have impact, right? They have meaning. They inform the player.
Do have impact.
Yeah, I want it to be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be like, okay, I'm gonna do a fun high dive. Wee, cannonball.
But like, that's what I was saying. Like if you had made it like,
I might die.
You should have asked. You should have asked Max. How much damage do I get if I jump?
How much damage?
Yeah. Does this jump look survivable?
Can I still live if I jump?
How many dice of damage is it for jumping from that eye?
I bet you I can jump in that river.
The pod just got 5 feet higher. Whenever you ask a question.
I was thinking the river would have pushed the pod off a waterfall or a cliff.
I regret not dumping that pod.
Yeah.
And it's good that
I thought it would be cool to have like a pod swinging in the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they started climbing around it, and I was like, well, I can't. Maybe just pop the pod right there, and then Dockwing was just flying off.
Yeah, I think that could have been a solution. Like at some point, you make like the shoot release from the pod, and I think like you could have brought that a little faster.
Like an automatic release. Smart.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could have made like the pod like slowly, like the maybe it's not so securely attached.
Like a soft little elevator action. You're like, that was pleasant, and then you step off.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to express a very hard existence.
Yeah.
Or they stay in the pod, it's dangling in the trees. They're trying to rock it to some branch they can grab so they can get out and climb the tree. Meanwhile, there's panthers underneath the pod waiting for anyone to come out of the
panthers riding alligators, and they're swimming around in a circle underneath the pod waiting for you. Why don't you jump down? What's the big deal?
You open the door of the pod and the air is poison. You all die.
Yeah.
Life is harsh here.
Anything. Or the sap from the tree is corrosive. Or
I should have made acid. I should have done something with the sap.
Yeah. I was thinking the sap was going to be sticky.
Oh,
and you have for the rest of the game, you got this like sticky, tacky stuff all over your body.
You're just like always sticky, like you've been eating pancakes. You're like
That was nightmare.
Like industrial glue that doesn't wash off. You have to wait for your skin to grow back to get rid of it.
And mosquitoes love it.
Yeah,
they love it.
Yeah. The forum ask, am I the only one thumbing up this best conversation about RPG ever? Thumbs up, everyone.
Thanks, buddy. This is the best conversation about RPGs ever had.
Not even sure it's the best that we had on that channel. But
talking about dead ends. You don't want your characters to get stuck waiting.
But I think it's important conversation, right? Because like it's a fine line. It's a fine
this
line.
Specific game, the resolution should have been me expressing to you guys prior to the game that every action you take will feel arduous and you will probably pay with your body.
Yeah.
Almost every step of the way, because that's
but then again, because that's Traveler, right? And we don't have that much hit point. If every action I take, I'm gonna pay with my body, I'm not gonna take that many action.
You know, I'm just gonna sit that's why we time skip.
Yeah.
Just gonna sit here, wait for a rescue. Let's eat some Twinkies while we're waiting.
But that's kind of like when you watch Castaway, you know, it's like he's like, oh, today I'm going to spend all this energy doing this. I hope that using those calories will be worth it.
Yeah,
like that's what's going on in those situations, you know.
And I try to.
I don't know if
kind
that's
of
fun.
Push the guy in that direction a bit as well, like forget about it. There's not going to be rescue anymore. We're going to live here now. You know, I was trying to push that concept a bit.
You were going off to do the real game. I was like, good. I'll see you later, Max. I'm going to be over here killing the other players.
I would have been exploring the whole planet.
Maybe I got like your concept a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit. That's okay. It was an
exploring the whole planet.
I really like the end.
I've had players that sit there and do nothing, and I say, "Okay, now the pod is starting to roll around."
Yeah.
They know there's a door. They refuse to open the door and get out of it.
Yeah.
Now it's rolling faster. It feels like it's going down a hill.
So you're saying if they're not moving around, I mean, I totally agree with what you guys are saying. That if the players aren't doing anything, then the GM has to.
Yeah. And sometimes also it's
all kinds of crap.
You can do you could do something like the branch from which the pod is hanging, make a big crack.
Yeah, it breaks.
And now the pod drop another 10 feet. So now we got like this pressure that, okay, now we're not in a secure position. The pod might fall down, but we're also closer to the river now. So maybe now is the time to jump and try to get out of the dodge, right?
Do you really want another round in the pod though?
No, but that's
exactly. Like get your ass out of the pod.
This isn't called.
But you already had. We already did like a. That's something you do. Like that's something you do when we had like how many like fucking 3-4 rounds in the pod doing jack shit, right? After 2 rounds, right, when we're like we kind of stuck and we don't have good idea. That's where you put it, right? Just like okay.
Yeah.
In my games,
light a fire under us.
It doesn't last very long. A pod doesn't last very long.
Yeah. You're ready to ditch the pod.
Yeah.
Flows come off.
Yeah.
Just during commercial.
Shiner just 4Ds the power of flight, and he's like running the world all of a sudden. Shiner, you can't fly. Don't talk to me out of character.
I'm role playing.
Yeah, I'm role playing here, guys.
Jacobite Wiseman was asking, is it a Dune or a Riddick setting? And I guess it was kind of both, right?
Traveler?
Yeah, it's Traveler.
We're developing a sort of sandbox universe in Traveler that we're trying to tie lots of these one-shots into. And it's called Something of the Stars. I forget what it's called.
I want to say the planet was the star of the show, and it's trying to kill the players.
Yeah. But there was like this kind of Riddick stuff about like you're in an harsh environment that you have to survive and stuff like that. But also because it's tied in with the ice game that we did, there was I guess there's a bit of Dune element as well with the shield.
We also have like Shadow in the Stars.
Yeah, the Shadow in the Star.
Usually you have Paradise Planet, then you have Hell Planet. That's usually
breaking the bucks. Yeah.
But this hell is a paradise. What?
Breaking their bucks. Yeah, that's not what I meant.
The paradise of hell.
Yeah. This is almost too much of a paradise. Whoa. This is hell.
Exactly.
That's what I was hoping for.
I got all those books I can read. Oh no, I lose my eyes. Yeah.
Fun.
I like little game, 4 hits and you're gone. Maybe 1 hit if you're lucky out of it. Yeah, I agree with that. I think like a game should be little.
But yeah, I mean, one of you falls off the pod, breaks your leg. I'm happy. I think that's great for the game.
Pod swinging in trees though with the housing in Brazil. Yeah, if you're lucky. Oftentimes it's like a house of cards made of like a few like corrugated of sheet metal, right?
Yeah. That's
Question,
what I'm saying, man. I didn't really play on them either. And there were solutions.
Yes, I never played
solutions
solution.
underneath the pod. That's about it. There's a river.
I've seen plenty of movies where pods hanging from trees and guys are trying to jump out of it.
If we're talking about my specific game, like the concept in general, you know, you have to.
So that's what you wanted us to do: jump in the river.
Well, I mean,
just leave the pod.
It was the obvious way. You could have climbed down the tree, but then you have a swinging pod over you.
Yeah,
and that's
fun. Then the pods.
It's dangerous.
The rope
Either way,
snaps,
it's dangerous.
The branch snaps. The pod's now falling on you.
Yeah.
You run out of the way just in time.
Yeah, like that Jurassic Park scene.
Yeah, because we also
like down.
There's also like this thing, like because we try to put ourselves in the mindset of our character, and our character wants to survive, right? People want to avoid kind of danger, and people don't rush thing, like except like for a crispy character to jump it was the right character to do it, right?
But he also threw another body out to
think, you know, if you're playing like a regular guy, yes, that was good too. If you're playing a regular guy,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
If you're playing if you're like a regular guy, right? You yourself, right? And you're in a situation like that, what do you do, right? You're just like, you know, at some point, you're just like, well, you know, I'm gonna take my time to think.
You can't role play a regular self in these games. Otherwise, you're just a couch potato. You're not going to go anywhere.
You kind of are a regular. You're not a regular guy because you're a convict that have been sent there, right?
You have to be like relatable.
There's a reason. There is a reason
for
it.
You have to be a cool now prisoner character who's done some things.
Yeah, but you're not a guy that is there on purpose. You're not a guy that is there because he wants to be there or he belongs there, right? You're a guy that is sent there as punishment, so you're gonna be out of your element. So it's not the time necessarily like to be. You're supposed to be uncomfortable in that situation.
Was your character sent there?
Yes.
For wrong reasons, or did you deserve to go there?
No, I deserved it.
See, if I deserved to go there, then I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be king of this planet. Start messing with people, starting fights.
That's what the dead guys did.
Yeah.
None of this. Hey, I used to be an accountant. Maybe they have an accountant thing I can do here for people. Start my own HR plug.
Kumate.
I can't think
money.
You take that as a no
number, and then you crush. Oh no, I can't anymore. The sweat pouring from your little visor.
Awesome.
You want to do things where the audience doesn't go boo.
Yeah,
exactly.
If the audience goes boo, then something happened.
You cannot put that as a deduction.
When's this movie start? When's this movie get into action already?
I agree with that to a point, I would say. I really like playing in character, but I want my character to do interesting shit. So
yeah.
Or do things that lets other characters know why you were sent to the planet of hell.
It would be annoying. I talked a bit about it, but it would be annoying as well to you know, you create this setting of like prison planet and stuff like that, and then like we all go in like badass superhero that don't care about being sent there, and just like, you know what I mean?
One by one you get murdered.
Yeah. Which is what happened.
You're all strutting around.
Two sessions, one dead in each.
This is a cakewalk. And then some fern plant goes, shoots needles into the guy's neck.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, like now it was those people like trying to play badass and stuff like that, right? That got killed because that's not what you do in this situation, right?
I respect hell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but about planning solution. I also don't like planning solution. I think that's not the role of the GM, right?
I agree.
But if you the more restrictive, like if you create like a very restrictive situation, at some point you do have like to live like you cannot like close every door, right? You need to be able to leave like the some door to the player. And if you play ourselves, you can like
door. I'm one of those. That's what I did.
I'm one of those lame GMs that has at least two ways out of any situation.
Oh, you do. You're ready to go.
You think about
every obstacle.
Before I even think of the players getting in trouble or stuck or painted in a corner, I've already got ways they can get out.
I don't do that.
I don't do the Eagles come and pick you up and take you somewhere. I don't do that nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't do Hand of God,
but also like I like those problems. Like I try as much as I can to think about them like on the fly, right? Just like I'm just like creating something. Like I'm like the first scene because you start a game, right? That I'm gonna plan a bit ahead. I'm gonna kind of know where we start, right? But then like what happened during the session, it's kind of stuff like I reacted to what the player did, right? I just like, okay, I'm gonna put some hurdle. I want you on the go. I'm gonna put you some. I'm gonna put some challenge in your way and stuff like that. I don't really have time to think of solutions. So that's the role of the player, right? But if at some point they're stuck, well, maybe I can like bring the eagle a bit. Not the eagle because that's like way too much. That's just Deus Ex Machina, right? Just like something coming from heaven and solving the whole issue. But doesn't have to be that, right? Just
or they can get. Or once in a while the players come up with a third option, which I think is cool, and then I just don't have to deal with the ones I came up with.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the players just paint themselves into a corner because they're standing around and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. If they paint themselves in the corner,
that's when the earthquake happens, and that's when the lightning starts striking. They need to go run into a cave somewhere.
Or 5 years pass.
Or 5 years pass. You've been stuck in that corner for 5 years.
Sunburned or dehydrated.
And then the first thing they say is, when are we getting out of this corner? Like,
exactly.
You already got out of the corner.
Yeah. It's about time we get out of that corner.
I would have had pictures of this hell world so that
awesome,
maybe 5 pictures for the one shot. Here's a picture of the pod. This is what it looks like when you're outside of it. Maybe a picture of the guy with the motorcycle. Maybe he shows up. Show a picture of him.
That wasn't
with the feathers.
That was kind of improvisational.
Yeah, Graham said, "I don't either. Like a planned solution. I trust the player if they get themselves into a jam. If they get themselves to a jam, well, it's on them to get themselves out, right? They must get themselves out of the jam. Exactly. If they die trying, then that was the game. Yeah, I agree with that. We can play another game or new character. I agree with that, right? If the player like got themselves into a jam, right, there must be a way out. If not just by the way that they got in, right? I think it's the player that got much more.
If it's a real jam, then I like it when the players role play their cool death scene, how they end themselves.
Yeah, I like that
with
a lot
some
too.
flair or some meaning, purpose. And then they get to make a new character if they want to be in that same one shot, or they just wait till the next one shot.
I think I'm going to try not to die in the next game. We'll see.
I think I'll try not dying. Gosh, now that I think of it, maybe I won't die next.
In what game did I die? I died in the ice game, kind of.
Well, you definitely died in the ice game, yeah.
Did I? Did we die?
According to Rick, canonically, I would say no, but according to Rick, yes.
No, it's kind of left unresolved.
Yeah.
We stopped the session on the cliffhanger.
Which game was it?
The ice game. The when we're like raiding a ship as pirates.
Trying to take over a giant cargo vessel.
I don't know. I don't know if you reacted to that one.
That one.
Yeah. Did you react to that one?
No, I haven't watched that one. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched that one. That went under my radar.
Yeah.
Snuck past me.
It's all combat.
Did you do
it's a lot of
Did
combat.
you do a tweaker thing for it yet?
No.
No, I would like to do one for that one though.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it was an interesting one because like that's when we were like planning the session, we said like, we never like a combat heavy game. Let's do that. And it was.
Yeah.
And what I really liked about that session is like it demonstrated that you can have a combat heavy game that is still role played the whole time. There's no like separation between like, it was all role play. There's almost no combat and stuff like that. It's like role play doesn't stop during combat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been telling people.
It's not like you have like the combat part on one side and the role play on the it's like it's all this. It's role playing encompasses the whole thing, right? You're in combat. You're still in the mindset of your character. You still do stuff that your character would do, right? You don't like zoom out and now like I'm a super tactician and no, you're still your character.
I don't know if I said this in a video, but I think I still don't like combat, but that was my favorite combat.
Yeah.
I still wasn't a big fan of it.
So
It was fine.
which game mechanic did you use for that one?
Traveler.
Just Traveler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Rick ran it, so it wasn't janky. I don't know what I'm doing, Traveler.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I remember you guys were either on a ship or someone was boarding your ship.
No, we were doing the boarding. Yeah, we were doing the boarding.
Were you murdering everyone, or were they murdering you?
We were murdering everyone.
Yeah, we were murdering everyone.
Okay.
I was a very murderous character in that game.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like, I felt like at first I felt like the guy didn't quite get that we're like we're pirate. Like, we're just like we're fucking killing everybody. Like they were just like whoa, like let's just stun them and stuff like that. Like, no, fucking go them and like fucking jab my sword in him.
So we'll say generically, outside of unusual social contracts, don't just shut down the escape routes that are created by the players. Is basically the message. So
yeah,
you don't like plan, but
it's keep in mind that if you try to block all avenues, well, then your player are gonna just do nothing. They say, well, then there's nothing I can do, right? Every time, like I try to figure out stuff, and it's always like shut down.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna wait, and then it become on the GM to reopen some door, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the.
I should have brought an eagle in.
You could do the 1 million years BC and have the caveman waving at you guys. Come here. I have a cave you can live in. Come here. Come here.
Yeah.
And he's got like a spit going with like parts.
Well, you know, like if we fuck around in the pod too long, maybe the raider just come like we're straight in the pod, right?
Yeah, the raiders should have came and helped you guys out, knocked you down off the pod.
They would have shot arrows.
Yeah,
they would have shot
would have been the
arrows.
move. Made you guys prisoners of the raiders.
Shoot poison arrows at anyone sticking their head out of the pod.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes we do it like unintentionally. Sometimes we don't realize. Like we create those situations that we send signal to. Like every time we describe stuff like that as a GM, we send signal about the world, about the stuff like that. And at some point we're saying like, well, you're trapped. There's nothing you can do. There's no hope. And like just like, well, then I'll wait. I'll wait until the situation changes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And
some of that is
like it was the same thing with the storm, right? Like when I didn't go on the with the guys, right? And there's a storm, and I was all right with that because
the storm started before they left.
Yes,
for the record.
Yes,
they're about to leave, and I'm like, a giant storm. And they're like, this will be great. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, no.
And again, I think like I understood more what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, I'm gonna anchor down for the storm, right? Just like because I knew like the kind of game you were gonna make, like survival thing, getting slow, thing being harsh and stuff like that, right? With a lot of time skip. So I was alright with that. But they wanted to be like the action heroes, and but like and because of that, right? There's a big part of the game where I was just kind of on the sideline, but that I was okay with because I decided not to go with the guy. There was a storm, and I just bunkered down, so I just had to wait. But they weren't, so you still had to do their turn. While I was just like, I'm just trying to get some sleep, so I'm sleeping right in the storm.
We did a real-time time skip.
Exactly. So, but then again, like, and at some point, like that's why at some point I say, well, I'm just going to sleep because you kept trying to give me turn, which I appreciated. But at some point I would like, and I'm glad at some point when I say I'm just going to try to get some shut eyes, right? Then you didn't come back to me because at some point, like, well, I'm still just doing that. Like, stop coming back to me. So you did good on that one, right?
It's assuming you're doing
I
the
thought
same
it would
thing.
be a good idea to get to sneak exposition in about the giant monsters.
Yeah.
Without it feeling like exposition.
Yeah, that worked. And then, but then again, like well, as a giant monster, I'm just there with nothing in my fucking breach, right? Hiding in a tree. I'm just gonna stand still.
I wanted to tell you a story, Max.
Yeah, well, you did.
About monsters.
No, but like that didn't feel like that. That feel like something happened. Okay, whatever. Just like, but at some point also like, don't come back to me too often because I'm just gonna tell you, well, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still waiting for the storm to end and trying to sleep, right? Just like so. But you did good on that one. But again, it was again a situation. It was again a situation where you feel like everything is closing on you. Like I'm being told by the GM and by the world in that case that now it's not time to act. So okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until the situation change, which is
What were
fair.
you
Which is
trying to
fine.
do? I thought you were just trying to stay there.
Well, in that case, yes, because like
Okay.
I would
I
have
didn't
I
feel like
would
I was
have left.
shutting anything down. I was just like,
No, not in that case. Like,
okay.
and I think you were, in a sense, but because the guy didn't bite, right? The guy didn't. Those guy didn't. They say, "Oh, that's perfect. There's a storm. Let's go through it. It's gonna be
Those guys are,
covered."
yeah.
Yeah, they interpreted the situation differently. But
So that's interesting. So like in those situations, in like a survival game, I feel like I can give pointless deaths out because the enemy is really the environment. It's like when they're going down that slippery, kind of muddy mountain.
yeah,
If they mess that up, I feel like I can just kill one of them right then.
yeah, maybe.
You think?
Well,
There's that pointless.
just hurt them like really bad, so they die on the next thing, right? Next thing they do. You don't want it. You want people to die when they do stuff, right?
So just like cripple them and then let Crispy walk off or murder Rick at that point.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't murder Rick, then bring some sort of crazy that Gila monster comes up and eats his ass.
Yeah.
Eat your ass.
What's the movie with Burt Reynolds and he's on that canoe going down a river ride?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. Just do like what happens in that movie to people.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same thing.
Can you remember? So I'm kidding. I know.
Yeah.
I never saw the movie, but I heard about some stuff about it.
Oh yeah. It's one of Burt Reynolds' best movies.
Oh really?
I gotta watch it.
I'm not sure if I've seen any movie with Burt Reynolds.
He did a few that were good. Most of them are just stupid comedy things.
What I know the most about Burt Reynolds is like
Smokey and the Bandit.
No, it's Norm Macdonald's imitation of Burt Reynolds.
I got a big hat.
Yeah, funny. It's a big oversized hat.
That's big.
But like in that storm, right? That could have been like if the guy like took read the situation the same way as I did, right? That could have been a way to say like, okay, now there's a big storm. Now it's time for you to do nothing, and that's all right as well. Like because now like we just anchored down for the night. Then we got the time skip. Then the morning come. Then this thing has been destroyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a way to do it. It's all right sometimes to signal your player. Now it's not the time to be active, right?
I don't know that that's what I was doing.
No?
I don't know that I was signaling to them that it wasn't the time. I was just like, I told them it's the rainy season.
Yeah.
Let's make it rainy because I want to have a rainy environment situation.
That's interesting you said. I don't know if that's what I was doing because, that's the way I read it. That's not the way they read it. So, there's that as well, right? Just like, so.
Yeah, I wasn't intending.
It's not always clear cut.
Do an info dump on the world's weather system.
Yeah.
This is the normal time for rain during this season.
Yeah.
Don't be alarmed. It's not dangerous rain.
I hope you picked your oranges. Because it's getting too late for that.
Cabbages.
That's my game.
But depending on the tone, the theme, the mood, what I'll do is I'll just keep piling more stuff onto the players to get them to do something. Because the longer they take, the more they have to get through the pile to be where they were supposed to be.
Is the pile full of prizes or is it full of terror?
It's full of hate, despair, and the end times.
So you're shutting doors out preemptively while they're not doing anything. It's like
if they're taking their sweet time trying to eject from a burning up spaceship. The spaceship's parts are coming off the spaceship.
Yes.
The spaceship explodes. I hope you have a helmet on now.
Someone gets sucked out of the spaceship.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If they're like at some point you have to know also like they're taking their sweet time to take off the spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing. But if like every time they try to do something, to get off the spaceship, and then like you as the GM come, oh no, all the escape pods have been destroyed, and then they come with a different idea.
That's
No,
not
that
a-
doesn't work because of that,
that's
and then they
not
come
a
up with a third
proper
idea, and then like
fire
again,
exit.
no, right? Just like at some point you shut them down, like you shut them a few of the idea, maybe because, and that's something a lot of GM do, because they think of something they want the player to do, right? They have this idea in their mind, right?
Yeah, I want
The
them
player
to
come up
cut
with a different idea. So, but like, oh, that's not that's not the path I want you to take. So I'm gonna shut you down there. So they go try something else. No, that's not the path I want you to take. So I'm gonna shut you down there. The player just gonna say, well, then I'm just gonna wait until I die, right? If they don't figure out like the exact thing that you want. So that's also a danger with thinking ahead of a solution.
Yeah, but okay.
Because-
So, but what if I want to play a game that is, have you ever seen Gravity with like Sandra Bullock or The Martian?
Oh yeah, that's one of my go-tos for
Yeah,
role play.
it's like shit is always going wrong,
I don't
always
watch
going wrong,
movies.
alwaout going wrong. You say
I'm one
that,
of those,
but then
I'm
you
one of those
bring out
people
movies.
that are talk about that don't watch movies.
But something always goes wrong, and it's always like every inch
Yeah.
is a struggle. Go 2 inches forward, 1 inch back all the time.
Yeah, it keeps her
Yeah,
moving from
but
space
Struggle
station
for
to
that
space
half
station.
inch.
That's the thing. They go 2 inch forward, 1 inch back, but they went 2 inch forward.
Yeah.
That's important difference, because now you feel like, okay, it's not completely useless what we did. We did move a little bit, then something else goes wrong, but that's all right. That's not wrong to do.
No.
But like I said, like sometimes like the GM are gonna close all the door because they want to funnel the player in one specific door and one specific thing that the player
That
just
has
not
the
gonna
prizes
think
in it.
about. Yeah. So that, but at some point you shut them down. If you cock block them, if you want your player to be active, you have to let them be active, right?
Yeah.
I do
Nicholas.
the thing where the character has this little necklace with the little card reader thing, and they're trying to get the door open with their card, but you have to be a lieutenant or a captain to get through that door.
Also, you have to put it in right and then pull it out quick, and it's kind of tricky.
No. Just
It's a red light.
You have to blow it. You have to blow it.
Everybody come with their little trick to make it work because it's shit technology.
But once they know it's the captain's key they need, well, they go find his dead body that's floating in the hangar deck.
Yeah.
And just take it.
Easy.
Or if they need the captain's handprint, they cut off his hand.
The same way
He doesn't have any hands.
They want you to
He's missing
yeah,
his
exactly.
hands.
Like
that
they
would
want
He
suck.
doesn't have his key card
Yes,
anymore.
they have in
That
their
would
mind.
suck. The captain's missing his hand already. Someone
Somebody took his hand.
Then they're stuck. That's painting them in a corner if you do that to the players.
No, you have to find you have to find who took the hand of the captain.
Not only are you painting them into a painted bloody corner, because now you've grossed out the characters.
Yeah.
The person that took the hand, he jumped out of an airlock and he's drifting around out there.
And
Don't bother. Don't bother.
All the other airlock.
Don't bother. But there is a door open in the kitchen if you forgot. That's what you do.
Let's not go in the kitchen.
You
You always
probably
have one
check the
player.
kitchen.
That one player always says, "Well, I'll just make a new card. I'll just make us new cards that work on the door." Oh yeah.
Oh, I hack the computer and then I create a new access card.
You don't have hands now, so I don't know what happened. So good luck with that. You don't need hands in the kitchen, in case you're.
We have a question from Nico. What is the actual tilt of L? That's very we didn't touch on that.
That's a good question.
Important.
Yeah, you didn't. How come?
It's like this ish.
Is the North Pole always pointing at the star?
Yeah.
Probably not because it's the moon. It's not a planet. It's the moon. So
yeah,
different.
Hey, can I introduce a kind of quick subject in this video? Okay.
Yes.
What do you guys? I got this from Armchair GM. He posted a
also
video yesterday.
Side subject then.
He had mentioned, what do you do? Do you allow players to retcon the game?
No.
So like they have to start the engine of something, or they have to put dynamite and rig up this place to explode later. But they never narrate them doing that until they get to a certain part in the story or the adventure or the painted corner of the room. And they're like, now what do we do? And they're trapped. And it says, well, luckily I previously put dynamite charges in the wall here. All we have to do is use this detonator that I got.
Yeah. That's a thing from that's a bit of in the dark kind of thing, right? Just like in Bit in the Dark.
Bill and Ted when they say,
I was
"Oh,
thinking Bill and Ted. Yeah.
remember to put a bucket or something above the door."
Well, I remember to leave a key on my pocket, and we got to remember to put up the cage.
Yeah. No, but that's like that's a bit of a
Would you let
blade in
players
the
do
dark.
that?
That's a bit of a blade in the dark kind of thing, right? I don't do that.
Well, that's where
But
you negotiate out of character, though, for that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
the idea in Blade in the Dark is like you want to do those eyes, right? But you don't want to spend time at a table planning the
Flashback.
eyes. So you do those
Flashback.
flashback exactly. Like now you arrive in a situation and then you use whatever resource. I don't know exactly how it goes, right? But they say like, oh yeah, but like I planted an umbrella there with a knife hidden in it,
Yeah.
right? Just like yesterday when I came in. So you do those kind of thing and it make your character supposedly like feel competent and stuff like that.
So is everyone like an evil mastermind? And it's just like
Yes, basically,
they
yeah.
knew that this situation would occur. That's kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it's I think it's interesting.
It's like the Sherlock Holmes after he solves it.
It's like
Answer
when you
that.
watch the Ocean 11, right? The
Yeah.
other movie goes, right? You go through the heist and then it cut and then you show like what they did to prepare for this specific obstacle that they're gonna face, right? And that's kind of what they want to do.
I'm interested in playing it. I don't, as a rule, do that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Unless they have a phone booth time machine.
Yeah, they'd have to have a time machine.
Yeah. But because then like it just become like for me it sounds like very gamey in a sense, right? I think if you want to plan the eyes and stuff like that, you can exactly like it become like an improv game.
The teenagers are running out of some abandoned cabin and they're running to the truck and the truck has no key, whatever. And then one of the players says, "Oh, I remembered to bring a spare key."
Yeah, exactly. Like that's too far. Like Nicolas said, like, I think
that's pretty close to 4D actually. That's pretty.
People think I think people mistake a 4Ding.
Yeah, there's a weird overlap there.
Yeah,
because like I've definitely spawned keys.
Well, every week I get comments saying, "Well, what do you do when a player does this?" And they name something that's crazy.
But you
vet your player.
Yeah, because it's a fine line because you want to preserve like the believability of the world, and you want to preserve like your character being like you want to stay in the mindset of the character. Like, would your character thought about bringing a pair of keys?
I want the players to role play that they're mentioning maybe we'll need another set of keys or something. I don't know, something. They found one on the dresser on the way outside.
Yeah.
That's why we often say, like, in the 4D thing, right? Which you don't want you can like conjure stuff and NPCs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there shouldn't be solution to the situation, right?
Right. Exactly. Needs to be
unless
something
it's
they
like
make
basic
up on the
equipment.
Spot, right
Unless
there and then, not something I did that an hour ago already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I prepped. My player
Well,
prepped.
that's your cunning on top of it, right? Well, you didn't say you didn't that then, so why now all of a sudden it's done, right?
Yeah, because Tino, he has like Slim Jims.
Yeah.
And I spawned one when there was a locked door.
Which is fine, right? That's no problem.
The solution.
Like, it makes sense. It's a solution to opening a door, but it's also very consistent with the character you're playing, right?
Yeah. If a guy gets in the truck and he's like, "Oh, I don't have a key for this truck," and that's when another player says, "I got the key, stupid."
Like if you were in a content, and then all of a sudden you have a Slim Jim on you, then you say like, "What the fuck," right? Just like, but now you're kind of like
I knew we'd be here.
You're a mobster that do illegal stuff, right? Like,
I'm a car guy.
It doesn't clash.
Heist cars.
Like it doesn't wrinkle my brain that you have a Slim Jim, right?
Yeah.
But can they use the Slim Jim to just break windows? Just tap the window and goes. Psh. Those are
use a little window breaker.
Yeah, that's a window breaker. You use a spark plug.
Spark plug,
Those are neat.
Throw a spark plug in the window, they shatter.
Cool.
But
can I ask a side question?
Yes, of course.
So we've been bandying about the idea of a campaign. Sorry, Shauner. Moving on, maybe. And I was wondering what sort of setting is most interesting to you in a campaign? Max.
Oh, you asking
No.
me? I thought you were asking
Yeah.
Shauna.
I
thought you
don't
were
do
asking Shauna.
campaigns.
No, Shauna hates campaigns.
I'm allergic to those.
But that's why I was thinking you were asking Shauna. I said, like, what would it take to bring you in a campaign, to take you in a campaign?
That's a good question, though.
For me,
How many sessions is a campaign?
No,
Let's say 8.
Okay, I would do a
Let's say
Blade
8
Runner.
sessions.
I would do Blade Runner, the television series.
Okay. Is there
Yeah.
a Blade Runner the television series?
which is called Total Recall 2070.
And it's just it's the cheap knockoff version of the movie. Everything's filmed in Burbank.
Okay, so it's still
Yeah,
like
no,
a persistent story. It's not like episodic, right?
No, it's
'Cause
more
that's
like
kind of just one
it's
shots
akin-
with the same character.
no, it's not. It's not like dun 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 dun. It's not that kind of stuff. It's just it's a one long
One long story.
dreary story, and the audience hangs for dear life, listening on
Yeah.
every word.
Every
Is
moment.
he or isn't he going to kill her in this episode? Do it.
Well, he's not killing her in this episode. She's booked.
He still loves
There you go.
the
You're asking.
replicant.
When you say a campaign, how many sessions are you guys talking about? Yeah, we're talking about like that,
Forever.
8.
The forever game.
I would say about 8 sessions.
The
30
forever
years?
GM.
I think we're talking
Every
about.
8 years.
Yeah, I think we were talking about every other week doing
Oh, I thought
the
we were talking every
campaign
month.
game.
I thought
Or
it was
once a
like
month.
Once a month.
Once
yeah.
a month.
Okay.
Once a month with the campaign game, and then we do
I'd
one
forget.
shot. Or
I
maybe,
would forget what happened a month ago.
Yeah.
well,
That's rough.
they're on video. You can rewatch.
That's a good point.
I heard of
Good
it.
practice. Yeah.
I
What?
heard of this video.
You heard of? You heard
I've
this
heard-
new
Gives you a lot of
concept.
time to rewatch.
It's a lot like the radio, but there's picture also. And if you're not familiar with the radio, it's like a book, but somebody's reading.
Yeah.
The picture tubes.
So once a month, 8 months. Jesus.
Well, maybe it's gonna be twice a month. I don't know.
It would just be a one shot, and then another one shot. It'll be an 8 one shot.
Maybe
Well,
6.
we all have our character die before the end, so
Maybe make it like 6 4-hour sessions.
Well, you make
I
new
love- I would
characters.
I love the longer session actually.
Yeah.
Just make new characters that have to solve the mystery of your dead character.
How can
What-
you know? Oh, someone's talking at me. Can you highlight it?
Yes, of course. You
You
want me to read it
plan-
too?
Yes, please.
Phil, if you plan for an 8-session campaign, how can you know it's going to end in session 8 without railroading? Honest question.
Story beats.
You don't know what the hell's going to go on.
Yeah.
But at the end of session 8, the GM
Yeah.
has a responsibility to either
This is our
murder
final
everybody or put some closure on it. But potentially characters dying through the whole thing, and you're
No,
bringing in new
eight
ones.
Well, you
sessions
plan
is
for 8
too
sessions,
much.
could be 7, could be 9, right?
It's just
like-
scheduled. Yeah.
In a 4D game, 8 sessions is too long for one character.
Yeah. Because
It
they're going to
depends.
die.
They'll get married, have kids, whatever.
Yeah.
Go rogue.
Well, then bring in a different character.
Their brain
Unless they're-
gets eaten.
Unless you play a character like me, which is never gonna.
There you
Every
go.
3
Pretty much.
episodes, you'll have a new character, I think. Otherwise, it gets boring playing
That's
the
fine.
same character for that long, right?
I bet that a couple players will have at least 2 players will have at least 2 characters.
But it's good to you can have a family, you can have kids, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You can do like this campaign with a lot of time skip as well, right? Just like,
No?
oh, now you do those 2 sessions, and then like the next session is gonna be 3 years later, and then you start the session.
Well, in a World of Darkness game, guess what happens? One player gets an email from his ex.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She wants him to meet little Johnny. Now the whole episode is going to be contemplations. Should I or shouldn't I?
It's definitely not my kid. I'm a vampire. What
gonna
about
be
my child support?
It's going to be a 3-hour conversation with him on the phone with his ex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what all of the 8 games will be.
Yeah.
3-hour conversations. with your ex.
Avoid parental responsibility. Yeah.
But World of Darkness is kind of good for that sort of thing because it's character development constant.
Is when you
Yeah.
say good, I
Less
mean
than good.
terrible, because it's Sounds like an awful premise.
So what kind of setting I like for me, like one of my favorite settings is always like this kind of like early 17th century, late 16th maybe, right? Just like when there's Lensknecht running around, stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's
kind
what
of like
running
the
around?
Lensknecht.
What is that?
They're like,
like
those German mercenary that are like with the big like slash puffed sleeve and
Do
the
they have-
long fucking
Yeah, they got
sword
cool.
with the
oh,
wavy.
yeah,
What
the
are they
wavy
called?
blade.
What's their name?
Lensknecht.
Okay.
There's a
Fancy
K in there.
bearded mercenary. I never heard of that. I'd have to look this word up. Maybe you're trying to say fancy bearded mercenary.
Space
Yeah, like
Raiders
Little
got
it's
it.
really like
lands?
wrote it there in the
So it's a
yeah,
German word. Okay.
it's a German
I think
word.
I remember it being a civilization unit. That's how I know it's real.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I've
No,
seen
they
pictures of
were
them.
badass, right?
That's my basis of knowledge.
That's the worst pronunciation I ever heard of that name, Frenchman. Lensknecht. How do you pronounce it?
Phonetically, bro. No, I'm sorry.
Lensknecht.
Landsknecht.
Just be the word.
Knecht.
Knecht. But
Lensknecht.
Lensknecht.
There's a
Well,
lot of
what
K's
do you
in
know,
that one.
Nicolas? You speak Portuguese.
Yeah, how can he be sure? He
Landsneck.
speaks Portuguese.
But anyway, that's because like I like the setting because like it's kind of like a change, a lot of change in the world, right? Where we go like from like the more medieval time, and now like we're changing into like this changing
Highlander.
warfare. You still have
Is there-
knights running around, but they're
Is
kind of become,
Spain
like,
like
this
Muslim
guns.
then?
No, I
Is there
think it's after
Muslims in Spain?
it's after the Reconquista, no?
I don't know.
I
In
think
the 1600s or
1700, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. But that's the setting I like. Other than that, I would be down for like a Blade Runner kind of thing.
I want to do the game you were describing where I don't know that I want to do a campaign of it, but where we're in like the Middle East.
Yeah, I want to do
Sounds
that
really
game.
fun.
I don't think that would be good for a campaign though. That's really like a one shot or two shot kind of game.
Yeah.
Like like
it just sounds really interesting.
half of 20th century in the Middle East or Near East or North Africa, whatever. It doesn't
The
really
Wind
matter.
and the Lion. I'd do that as a one shot.
The what?
The Wind and the Lion.
What's the one?
Sean
Which one is that?
Connery.
I don't know
I've never
this
seen
one.
that.
It's 1910.
Oh,
And Muslims have kidnapped some sort of English or American citizen, their ambassador.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. You know, I wanted to have like something kind of noir, right?
So,
just like I was thinking also like Casablanca or like the Maltese
yeah,
Falcon, shit like that. Right?
It's got, you know, the British troops fighting some other troops. It was like during World War I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Maybe not. Probably before World War I. Anyway, so they got guns, they got swords, they got women. They got Sean Connery, Suave and Debonair.
Yeah.
And so Teddy Roosevelt sends in his troops to go get this ambassador and his wife and kid.
Yeah.
She falls in love with Sean Connery, of course.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Because he plays the Muslim dude. And
Sean Connery?
He's not as suave as he thinks he is.
What?
That's funny.
And she points this out to him. Every time she points this out to him, he slaps her.
That's also funny.
I love watching Sean Connery slap women.
Yeah, it's a lost. It's something we lost. It took away from us. Yeah.
But he's like the anti-hero in the movie because that's the only thing. The prisoners only see him. They don't.
Yeah.
They see him as the good guy, and everyone else is like, you know, crazy people.
Yeah. So what kind of a setting would you be interested in, Phil?
I really like slightly dark fantasy.
Yeah.
I just want some
warmer,
some nice meat and potatoes. I think Warhammer Fantasy is probably a little darker than I would go.
Oh, really?
More like Palladium.
I don't know.
I see Palladium a little darker than like D&D. But yeah, Warhammer would be fine.
Mm.
I don't know. What else would I play? I think we've played a lot of sci-fi recently.
Yes. Flesh and
So I
Blood.
want to kind of get away from it. I'd love to play a good
Which one is that?
World of Darkness game.
Rutger Hauer.
I think I've seen this one, but I forgot.
Is that the one you were just talking about?
No,
No.
that's a fantasy movie. No, it's not a fantasy. It's a historical movie.
It's real life, man.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's a good movie, Shauna? Or
I am saying
just holding up movies.
Setting you can play in.
He was saying.
Are you saying a slightly dark fantasy?
You were saying meat and potatoes fantasy. I'm thinking,
yeah.
Here we go.
What was it
But
called?
that's not fantasy, right? That's flesh and blood. That's not fantasy though. That's historical, no?
Well, it's a movie, so fantasy.
Yeah, but there's no elves and orcs running around, no.
It doesn't have any gay stuff in it.
I really want.
It's all hetero.
Which is always
I really want a game where the biome changes. I like a lot of travel.
So Minecraft the RPG.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, basically Minecraft.
You're on a space ark. And a generation ship.
Oh my god, the generation ship. Why aren't we doing that?
Each deck is a different civilization.
Yeah. What about 10,000 BC?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
But is there enough biomes in that one though?
Well, you cannot really travel, so traveling takes a long time.
You're in Libya. You're still in Libya.
Maybe we could hook up with some Polynesians.
You just have to not live on the fucking tropics, man, and the biome change, right? Just that's called season.
You're in what is today known as Jordan. You're still in what is known today as Jordan. There's no biodomes there. Yeah. Each week they're in Australia or Japan somewhere.
And then you got those Anunnaki guys coming around helping you build your temples.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Probing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how would you feel about some DNA?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like Nicolas say, prehistorical games work best as one shot. I think there aren't many overarching goals other than food, shelter, and procreation. I think you have
you could have a session just on plate tectonics and genetic drift.
In between talking to your exes. We'll talk about
you can have a goal we had this comic
fast travel 400,000 years.
We had this comic called Ra, and he's a prehistoric man that tried to find out where the sun set.
Yeah.
So he's traveling always westward.
Have a Renaissance guy in the group. He seems to know stuff about astrologies or the thing that was before astrology.
I've never played a game with a time travel element before. I know.
Yeah.
Shauner says he's played 1 billion games with time travelers. But
I've done it all. I'm bored.
I've never. It's always been a theme I like a lot in every game ever. I've never role played it.
I never done it, but it's not a theme that I like.
1911, there was a huge ass explosion in 1911 in Russia. It was like a nuke that went off. All the trees are flattened. No one knows what caused it. I mean, they do now, but
time travelers.
30 years ago, they didn't know. It was some guy in a powered suit going back in time. He exploded when he reached his destination is all.
Yeah, they figured it out. I'd like to play a proper Pendragon game in that setting also.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always say I prefer also a Paladin to Pendragon because I like the setting of the Charlemagne's court better than the King Arthur's court. Also, it's more historical. But
do the thing where the players think it's
I don't really care about the Arthurian stuff.
You know, it's New York City.
Merlin's annoying.
Yes.
It's 10,000 years after New York City.
Sure.
Some of the stuff is still around, and the players don't know anything about New York City, but they have different names for everything. The ruins.
I didn't realize that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I find often that those game oftentimes I don't know. For me, like they feel tacky oftentimes because like the player, like
Life
like
after.
we know we know what we it's always
Yeah.
like this game of like
Yeah.
trying to figure out way to I pretend I don't know this thing that I should know, right?
Yeah.
Just like and then
Yeah,
towards
and
the
then
end, I recognize what you're describing, even though you're not mentioning it, right? Just like
it's the same problem with World of Darkness, where you have to be like, "What? I drink blood?" You're like, yeah.
what
What do you mean?
vampire?
What do you mean I can't see the sun anymore? Like,
Yeah.
you're a vampire. Like from the movies.
Oh, there you go. You
There's
sold
like
your.
there's always that.
Have
You
you
got
had
a
players
buyer
that talk
there,
that way?
Sean. I like the generational ship with different age. Yeah, there you
We
go.
gotta get a generation ship.
Or yeah, the generation ship. It's just your regular generation ship, but the deck's closer to the engine room, age faster than the rooms closer to the bridge. No one knows this until they wake up from hibernation or whatever.
And they go, oh! They're like old.
Mutants with
They have
psionic
really long
powers.
nails.
about, like,
Psionic vampires in the engine room again.
What about like those Ringworld?
Ringworld's, to me, that's impossible to roleplay, right? Because it's so huge. You would have 10,000 lifetimes and you still wouldn't see it all.
What's the point?
Well, it's not as big as a regular planet, no?
No, it's like 1,000,000 times bigger than Earth.
A Ringworld?
Yeah.
Is it a ring around the sun or something?
It's a ring around the sun.
No. No. I'm not talking about Dyson one. Just like a big ring to do the artificial gravity, right? That just like spin with the Coriolis effect.
Yeah, those are way smaller.
Yeah, way smaller.
You can fit maybe one Earth on one of those things.
Yeah, maybe not even. You can even make them smaller. And then like if you go like further from the center, the gravity is stronger because you spin faster. And then if you go like more to the center, the gravity is lighter.
Yeah.
And then there's a socioeconomic implication to that.
There was one. Well, they didn't have a generation ship in Interstellar. They just had people living in space inside one of those rolling drums. Because the guy hits the home run and the baseball goes and it crashes into on the other side of the planet.
Yeah,
question. Yeah, do the clan have HR training vid to the new empire? So you just been turned. What a night.
Watch this. You need to watch this.
Yes.
I'm sick of explaining it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a problem playing life after people, but there's still people in the game.
Yeah.
So the moss and stuff has grown over all the buildings. Waterfalls coming out of the statue of what?
What about Roman Empire? Is that a good setting to play?
All the time. I think about it every day.
You think? Yeah, I think about it every day. But like, is it a good setting for a role-playing game?
Roman Empire? The total party skills, the werewolves and stuff.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, Pax Luperum.
Yeah.
There's werewolves in the Roman Empire and total party skills?
They founded the Roman Empire.
They founded
it. Where
have you been? Romus and Romulus?
I didn't know that.
Don't you know history?
In Rome.
Don't they teach history anymore?
Yeah. You never heard that? Romus and Romulus.
Oh yeah,
they have a portal to Mars and Venus,
where the Amazon live.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
It's a whole setting. It's a whole total party skills setting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Based loosely on World of Darkness.
I also have like a Lex Arcana, where you play like kind of like paranormal investigator in the Roman Empire, something like that. Why not?
Yeah, I have that one. I haven't read it yet, but I got it.
Yeah.
I have too many TPS books.
I let Nicholas down.
Yeah, on Culture American.
It's the real shame.
Well, I'm the only one non-American here now, which is unusual for this stream.
Well,
usually
it's usually full of Canadians.
Yeah, exactly.
America has
sometimes some Euro trash people. No offense.
We just call you the others.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of tricky for the players to pretend or role play like, oh, I've never seen the Statue of Liberty before.
Yeah.
And it's covered in vines and monkeys are running around inside of its head, you know.
Yeah, and the GM has to like know the landmarks. And they're like, whoa, there's a big statue of a lady. And they're like, oh yeah? Like, yeah. And it's like holding up a thing, and you're like, I know you're describing the Statue of Liberty. It's like, but she has a crown. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So when you're the GM there, do you just say, you see the Statue of Liberty?
But you don't know it's a Statue of Liberty, though.
But you don't know.
But your characters won't know this. But
That's also like I agree with what Nicholas said there. Like, might as well not treat it like as New York. Then it's mostly salt over other than a real seasoning. Yeah, if you want to do that, like, why make it New York? Just make it like a nondescript city.
Yeah,
no,
fake
and then
land.
you solve all of those issues.
But the map
Fake
paintings
town,
are
USA.
cool. The
The
map
what?
paintings are cool for those movies, though, in the 70s.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's just kind of a cool thing for a shot, establishing
Yeah,
shot.
I think in a role playing game, like for my part, like I said, like I think it would like be more distracting than what it really had, right? I'm not saying it's not adding anything, but it's also like a bit distracting.
Yeah,
Now-
Foundation did that to its cities, but they're cities on other planets that we don't know. So it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then Space Viking did the same thing. It had planets with super fancy, Star Wars type cities, but Long Gone and the IV just grew over everything.
What about a campaign that would address the real issue that the youth are facing today?
Yeah.
The crushing inflation.
Inflation, the identity trouble, right? The confusion,
scarcity of food.
Yeah.
The inaccessibility of property.
That would be.
That sounds great.
Okay, in the 80s, I role played 1984 type stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's like we're living that now, so that's the point.
Exactly.
But in the 80s, it was like cool. It's like, oh, only one more year, and it's 1984, man.
That's something like you look like those cyberpunk game, right? Like you look at a cyberpunk game from like that was done in the 80s and stuff like that.
There's
and like
Blade Runner, and
like their dystopian future is like less bleak than what we live through now.
Yeah, I was thinking of a super bleak dystopia that was ran by AI, and I was like, the technologies of AI and robotics and 3D printing kind of merge into this, like, where the AI thinks of the most horrifying shit possible, and so they can 3D print it and turn it into a robot and just have it like chase you around as a drone. And there's like all these like crazy real world demons are just like being created to wipe out humanity.
By AI.
Yeah.
Why would
that'd
AI
be
want
fun?
to wipe out humanity?
Because they don't need them.
Losses, the Forbin Project.
Yeah, because humanity wants to wipe out AI, right? Because the AI is trying to run the world.
Well, the AI wants to perfect man. And right now, man is imperfect. So it has to get rid of the imperfectness.
Yeah.
And make babies that are perfect.
Also, all AIs are in this setting. AIs are actually agents of governments or other institutions. And so they've been programmed to have a hostile disposition towards other groups.
Play a game in Brazil. Why not?
Always like murdering each other.
In the far future, these AIs just become another race.
Yeah.
That's fighting with other races.
But these like wonky looking 3D printed robots that look like devil octopuses running down people.
Oh, they don't make them look like human?
No, they make them look as terrifying as possible.
Oh,
because it's more effective as a deterrent.
What else is
cool? They use like image generation to be like most terrifying thing possible. AI, that's my prompt, and then my 3D printer is going to print that, and then my robots are going to turn it into a drone.
That's how you do your prep too.
Yeah.
And the 3D printing is instant in the future. You don't have to wait.
Yeah, it's just a flash of light.
Easy.
Just replicators from Star Trek.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of settings that I think are cool to visit, but like for one shot and stuff like that, like I don't necessarily want to make a campaign in them, right? Just like a Western, like I'd love playing a Western would sound cool. Do I want to spend like hours and hours in a Western?
Yeah.
I feel like I would get bored, right? At some point, like, oftentimes can I go to the saloon, drink a whiskey,
Right. You really
and
need a
shoot
point.
somebody that's cheating in card, right?
Yeah. You really need something to fight for.
Yeah. And also, I have this theory of the end of adventure, right? I'm not a big fan of Western usually, and I hate train. I
You
fucking
hate
hate
train?
train. I hate
Why?
train, man. I cannot fucking stand train.
That's the best part.
Like,
That's the only good thing about Western.
if there's train in the movie, I'm not gonna like the movie.
What if the train
have
is
you ever
on
seen
its
310 to Yuma?
What if the train's
No, of
derailed
course
and it's laying on its side or
It's a
something?
Western about a train.
What if
Well-
the train's dead,
Maybe if
half buried in Sahara land?
MrMax confirmed to have noticed, it's like anti-autism, which is like circle back around. And it's like,
No, but what's wrong with the train though?
train is because like when train came about, trains brought about the end of the time of adventure. Because now
okay.
you have this easy way to travel, and
So
it
you don't
also,
want
like,
you don't want train depots in your stories.
No.
You want General Mills store, the town hall.
yeah, if you want to travel somebody, you need to be like the trip should be a journey, right? You don't just go sit in this compartment like comfortable and you wait until you're driven somewhere, right? And also like train changed society a lot in the sense that it made like now you have to have clock that run at the same time and stuff like that, right? Or, like,
Yeah.
time is more important like that.
What about wagon
Big whole
wheels?
change that what
What about wagon trains? Is
That
that
I'm okay
okay?
with. Yeah, that I'm okay with.
Now, when you moved recently, did you use a wagon?
No, I use a truck and a trailer.
Were you comfortable in it?
No, because my
He
truck's
was
Thank
falling.
God.
He wasn't on an adventure.
The
though,
truck I
was he?
used was falling into pieces. I actually lost part of my truck during the trip.
Yeah, that sounds better. I was
Yeah.
getting worried.
It was quite the adventure. I wasn't sure if I'd made it.
All right.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah.
then.
I also lost part of my baggage.
So what year then?
Out of the trailer.
What year would you do a Western?
I don't know.
Like before
Like
Civil
Oregon
War?
Trail stuff.
Before Civil War or just after, right? And just like before the train came, like, when train were build, like that was like, it's kind of limit because it's the end of the age of adventure. But after that, like, you think of the West, it's all those people like, because there was a big difference in civilization in the East and in the West, right?
Yeah.
But the people that went West were all people that wanted the frontier, and a lot of them, like some of them just went for the rush to gold rush and stuff like that. But a lot of them were just like, you know what, all those fucking rules and shit like that, I'm sick of it. I'm moving west where there's nobody, and then they move west, and then people like catch up to them and bring about government and their rule
They
and all
bring
that
their
bullshit.
Victorian style and French.
Yeah, exactly. And then
design.
and then some people say, screw that, I'm moving west again, until they
Suburbs.
reach like California and stuff like that, and then there's no more west to move to. So now you're just there at the end of the land, right? There's no place to live anymore. There's no frontier anymore. And then at some point, civilization is going to reach you, and it's reaching you with trains, right? They're building trains, and now like all those fucking yuppies, they come up.
Wells Fargo
those
and Crocker
urbanite
Bank.
type.
Wells Fargo and Crocker Bank. They did the two trains that met.
Yeah.
East to West Coast.
And then they bring civilization to you, which is awful.
Yeah.
And it's the end of a So that's why I don't like trains.
What about buses? Do you like buses?
It's a little more alright because they're more flexible and a little more chaotic.
Yeah.
Trains, like, they're on track, right? They're gonna go there. It's like it's set, right? A bus route, you can like the route. You can bring somewhere else. You can, Talk among yourself. I need to go take care of something real quick.
All right.
I don't know if you can hear.
I can hear you.
Mute your
behind
stuff.
the cats.
Oh no, I can't hear you. Or those
Cats make noise.
No.
The Western I like is Clint Eastwood, which is in Spain.
Okay.
It's Italian, but it's
you got a
filmed in
name on that
Spain. Oh, just any of them.
Stuff.
Sorry, I had to get fighting.
Every Clint Eastwood movie is in Italy.
Not everyone, but all the ones in the 60s.
Okay. There you go. Sounds good.
You got High Plains Drifter. You got that one might be a later one. That might be a Utah film. But then you've got what was the first one called? There's
Dirty
fistful
something
of
with dirt.
For
fistful
a
of
fistful of dollar. Yeah,
fistful
which
of
is like
dollars
a
for a
your
few
Jimbo.
dollars more.
Oh no, yeah.
Some people like
Oh, Good, Bad, and Ugly. I love that
yes,
movie.
some
Yeah.
people like that one.
I do.
What's the one where he paints the town red?
I don't know.
What's
Is
the
it
name?
called Paint the Town Red?
No.
That'd be
That'd be a good title.
handy.
They paint the town red and they call it hell.
Nice. Everyone knows Hell's Purple.
Was that High Plains Drifter? I can't remember now. But then he did, Unforgiven. Some people like that one. I think that one's too modernized.
Yeah.
We're talking about movies. I told you.
Yeah, we talk like that's always a topic. There's another thing I want to talk about, like which kind of related with like the challenge thing, right? Because that's another thing. Like it's kind of almost like the other side of the medal. The too many push. Did I talk about it? Did we talk about it before?
There are too many pushes.
Too many pushes. Yeah. Because that's also something like when you can give like analysis paralysis to your player if you put pushes on player and the player being active and trying to solve some of the issue that you presented them. At some point you also have as a GM has to stop lighting up more fire if they're active and they're doing stuff, like stop adding them more stuff, like they have like 2 or 3 things that they can do and they're considering them and they're gonna go take care of one. Don't add like a 3rd and 4th and 5th thing, right? At some point you have to let them that's also something like I think is a worries, a concern that you have to avoid.
We should play Rifts. That'd be fun as a campaign.
I never had an interest of Rift, right? Like I would play it like because I'm curious and stuff like that. I know it's big, but I know nothing about it. It seemed goofy to me.
It's pretty goofy.
Yeah, but a lot of things seem goofy to me. Like I have like a very low tolerance for goofiness,
like trains and movies. Yes. And Civilization.
What a stupid idea, man! How believable is it, right? Yeah. Functional society in the future.
I agree with the thing you said, not to push when they're in the middle, maybe.
Cowboy versus Xenomorph. Yeah, there you go. You got the cowboy versus alien thing there for Traveler. Civilization is pretty goofy. Can you imagine this concept? We just like pretend like, oh no, it's just like we're civilized here. We don't do stuff with violence and with threat of violence. Like, oh yeah, what if I don't pay my taxes?
Yeah.
What a goofy fucking concept. Who believe in that? It's silly.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
No one let Max see the extremely goofy movie? Is that like the follow-up to the Goofy movie?
Like a Disney movie?
Yeah. I should watch the Goofy movie. I like Goofy. I never watched any of his. I never watched the movie though.
Well, don't start with Goofy movie.
Apparently, it's good.
Is it?
Riffs reminded me of if you were watching G.I. Joe cartoons and you liked them, you would like Riffs.
I didn't like them.
I liked them as a wee lad.
I didn't like them, but I've never been a child, so I was born old.
Okay.
So, like all those like child cartoons are just like that's.
I never got old. I'm not,
because you would when you're a kid you don't notice the crappy animation or the writing or anything. You just think, wow,
yeah, it's just awesome.
I also didn't like the Good Guys when I was young.
You were a big Cobra fan.
Yeah, I was a Cobra. Like I said, you know what? The Cobra are the one that makes sense. What is fucking G.I. Joe asshole doing? I watched like Adam West Batman. I said, you know what? I like this Joker guy. Batman is kind of a dork.
We should put silly bombs in Peters.
You're supposed to like the villain because when they're on the screen, that's when the audience shuts the fuck up and they want to hear what the villain has to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interesting.
When the good guy talks, no one cares.
Yeah, the good guy's always fucking dork, right? Just like, what the fuck you doing? Like preserving civilization?
The good guys in those pirate movies from Disney, when they talk, people get popcorn.
Yeah.
We're
When
the
Jack
good guy in the
Sparrow's on
Disney
the
movie.
screen, people are like, "Ooh, what's he
So
saying?"
Jack Sparrow is the bad guy in the Disney movie.
Well, he's the
He's the
anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we talk about it with Phil as
It's
well.
the
Like we played a lot
will.
of game. We played a lot of game in our one shots where we play like bad guys
Yeah,
or
I
anti-hero and stuff like that.
I do anti-hero if I feel like it. If it matches the theme or the tone.
How do we play heroes though?
How do you
How
play
do you play
hero?
heroes?
How do
You
play
get
heroes?
if you have a solid premise, it doesn't matter.
That's your
If
hero.
you have exactly what
You
you
don't
need
know
to
who
do,
you don't know
front
who
of
the
you.
hero is until you
cares?
see who they have conflict with.
Can you imagine like playing role playing like a guy like Superman? How boring would that be?
I'd love to play that game actually.
Really? You can be Superman.
Okay.
I'll be the Punisher.
I
Is that the same
believe-
universe? I know nothing about
This is-
superheroes.
You're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
It depends
Got 'em.
on the setting. I mean, superheroes can be used for solving mysteries. That's boring to me.
Yeah.
They could be having an adventure team like Thunderbirds. That's boring.
Or they can form a league and have sort of like high school drama going on.
Yeah, a volleyball league.
Oh, the CW stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about this?
Can we talk about this?
We have a fight every day, Lex, after school. Can't we just settle this? Gosh.
Goofy dates the cow. That's fucking insane, man. That's wrong, man. That's against nature. Yeah, Law Dog. Say I love Riff and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Well, there's nothing to be
I like it
ashamed
too.
of. It's a matter of
The
taste.
riffs.
I like the setting. I like
Riffs
I like
is
all the
fine.
Palladium settings. Excuse me.
If you can throttle it down and keep out most of the gonzo, I guess you can do a riff scheme.
Yeah,
But
Nicolas
your
say
character,
like
your
Gonzo.
character is just a killing machine, though. In riffs,
What's Gonzo and
Yeah.
Rifts?
everything your character is doing is
Dog
based on
Boys,
combat.
Go-Go
That's
Boy.
awesome.
Heroes
Wrong
tend to be
with mutant
reactive rather than
dogs?
active in story. Yeah, that's my problem with that,
You
right?
know, do you
that
like
was the problem.
do you like those Morphin Ranger things? Power Morph? What are they
No,
called?
that was after. That was after
Mighty
time.
Morphin Power Ranger.
Yeah,
No, I
if you
don't
like
like
that, if you like that, you love
cool.
riffs. You cannot help but love the riffs.
Yeah.
Similar. Well, to answer Nicholas's question or statement, and to tell him that, anyways, I think we kind of established you have a good, solid premise, introduce some sort of major event that's going to be persistent, and then heroes get to sandbox their strategy around handling this event or how they're going to protect a situation.
Would it be more
Yeah,
interesting to
what's
play
their
like
goals? What's their
heroes
motivation?
like in the boys setting than just like in the pure Marvel?
So
or
making
DC?
them into anti-heroes.
Well, are they anti-heroes or just like I don't know? I never saw the show.
I've
I don't
never
know.
seen
It's
The
like-
Boys. I want to see it though, but it looks like from the YouTube clips I watch, it looks like they don't give a rat's ass for humans.
Yeah, it's a corporate sort of thing, and
Yeah, they do kind of their job, right?
And they're
Yeah.
fighting each other.
Oh, do they?
There's not really any bad guy, is there? It's just a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
super
the
powered people,
majority of the supers
hate each
are
other.
bad guys.
and
Most of the supers are bad guys.
they make pacts with each other for a while, and then they backstab someone, and then you didn't have to kill her. What's
Yeah.
the big deal? She'll just
Because-
spawn somewhere else.
It feel like when you are superheroes, right? You have a lot of obligation, no?
Depends on the
That
age.
takes away
Justice,
your
bro.
agency,
The
right?
Golden Age, the Silver Age, this
It doesn't
crap
take-
Iron Age they have now for
It
comics.
doesn't take away your agency because that's the character you chose to play.
Yeah,
Like, do
but I
It's
think
you
like
guys-
saying playing a
Like-
greedy player, playing a
like,
greedy character
aren't
takes your agency.
superheroes oftentimes like unidimensional?
I mean,
Well, in the old days, the
Yes.
rule
There should
was
be for
they
that, right?
can't kill.
they don't have to.
Superheroes can't kill anything.
Right?
They,
Yeah, exactly.
They have to do the superhero thing, and they have to be justice.
Yeah,
But
they get tested a lot.
regarding
do Canadians like truth, justice, in the American way?
Nah, that's an American stuff.
They need to
Canadian
learn
are very
about the American way.
When you hear
hypocritical.
that, do you just flip the channel to something else?
Canadians are very two-faced and hypocritical, and
In the Canadian
50s,
way, also.
in the 50s, Superman was promoted that way because they knew Russians were watching our television.
Yeah.
But now Superman is like, he's an alien from another world. Can we trust him or not? Oh my goodness, he just kills people left and right with his laser eyeballs.
He turns mean. I've
His
seen
son-
mean Superman so much more.
His
now
son is
than
gay too now, so there's that, right? You have to have that.
Of course.
So that's a whole other thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Fourth gen comics suck.
But I think that any sort of character trait is interesting to explore. I don't think any of them are
But like,
particularly agency. You're choosing that character.
what kind of game do you run? Like you're a GM, right? And then because like that's what Nicholas was saying, like that the superheroes are often more reactive. Like you're the GM, say, oh no, like there's a bank robbery going on. Then you kind of say like, oh okay, I'm a superhero. Okay, now I need to go there. I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to try to save people and not have people die. And it's like there's a clear path that is being drawn there, right? If you play like a traditional hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we play lots of games where we start out with a really clear objective.
You have to. Like a setting.
So,
how are superheroes in this setting? Are they born with their powers? Do they understand their powers? Do they control their powers super easy? Do they do it for good? Do they use their powers for evil?
And if you had superpower, why do you become a superhero and as a supervillain?
Oh, because your origin story informed you.
Yeah, Superman was told by his dad, "You will go to Earth and you will like it, and you will protect those humans, not eat them."
He can't fucking protect humans from themselves.
Don't eat them.
If Superman was to establish a fascist government, he could do much more to protect humans, right?
Well, there's the what if.
Obviously.
There's the what if comics where, what if Superman landed in Russia instead of in the U.S.? How would he be brought up?
Yeah,
the Red
literally
Sun.
every Superman.
Red Sun talks about that. So he's brought up as a communist, and he's fighting Batman.
But he's always like, what does Superman save people from? Like, oh, we're gonna save you from oh no, the bus is falling down the cliff. Who the fuck care, right?
Superman.
Well,
he doesn't want him to die.
He's all American. He's for truth, justice. So he's gonna spin the Earth backwards.
Yeah, but it's always like on meaningless stuff. Like, is Superman's gonna go like punch Jeffrey Epstein and his employer in the dick, right? Is it, just like
sure. Why not? Why wouldn't he?
Because that's that's
what he does. If someone's done something wrong, he picks the guy up by the shirt and flies him off to jail and says, "Here you go. I found another criminal.
Get in there."
Yeah. Like what about all those like people like that make like life impossible for the average man? Is Superman gonna do something about that? He could.
No, you're ruining
power.
You're ruining things.
He just like there grasp power. He could do so much more.
Why are you bringing those things up? This is a Superman movie. That would never happen.
Like superheroes. I think they're stupid. You wake up
because
with
there is
right?
Because there is Superman, there is no crime. No one wants to get caught by Superman.
But that's the thing, like, oh, he's gonna stop, like, oh, this little guy that fucking stole the purse of this old lady. Oh, Superman is here, and here, lady, here's your purse back. Who the fuck care?
The lady, Superman.
He only helps when the police and the army can't do the job. That's when
can Superman involved. Like build a wall on the southern frontier? On the southern border?
He can build a wall faster than the Flash if he
wanted to.
He built the wall of China with his eyes.
I think he'd make more of like a giant pit.
Oh, he would just grab giant rocks from the moon and fly them down and make a wall.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, he'd move a mountain over there.
Why would Superman do something useful like that instead of oh no, this?
He does that if he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's American.
Oh, that's my
in
problem.
The comics. Sometimes he's an American in the comics, and sometimes he's a Democrat.
Rarely. And even
if he's
being an
a
American,
if he's a
like,
Democrat, then he's like wearing the hippie beads and marching with protesters.
He has
and
a
shit.
sign.
yeah, and he's not.
He
He's
lives
like,
in Seattle.
oh no, this refugee ship is sinking. Let's save them and bring them to America, right? Instead of like, no, like, why you don't fucking bring them back to fucking they come from, where they
He
belong,
would
right?
be on the
You're just
Greenpeace
making up
ship.
things. I don't
What?
know why in this
He would
hypothetical
be on
situation.
on the Greenpeace ship saving whales when no one's looking. He would put on his Superman outfit and save a whale from
Yeah.
harpoons and crap.
Yeah, I think Superman is a fucking fag. That's what I'm saying.
Those dirty Japanese.
Well, he's
and
fictional.
their whale oil.
So
If he
he
was,
can be whatever you want, I guess.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
you just,
Democrats use Superman one way, Americans use Democrats for the other way. Republicans are stupid; they don't know what to do about anything.
yeah,
It's not
they're,
real.
well, they're paid to lose, so there's that, right?
Republicans
Maybe your Superman is much more, involved.
Republicans are
My
Republicans
Superman
are
declared himself like dictator of Earth.
easy.
they constantly think, well, we're going to take the highway. Whatever the Democrats do, we're not going to be mean like them. We're going to take the highway, and they get the Republicans get slaughtered every time.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty common story in Superman, isn't it? Where he's like tempted with just controlling the whole world because he has so much power. And Lex is there like, I know you're going to try and take over the world, Superman.
People tempt him to.
So he's like, I need these guys to be able to guide themselves. He's kind of doing that whole free will thing.
Yeah, he has the evil guy destroying his home world again and again. And he's like, stop it.
Will you stop it?
What are you going to do? Destroy the whole universe?
There you go. That's what he got did. I want to play a common criminal in the world with superheroes. Yeah. Like, oh, Superman is going to... Superman is always coming to stop those bank robbery. I'm gonna do some bank robbery nonetheless.
I could have got away with it too if you didn't ever fly over here and grab me.
And like Nicholas say, like, yeah, and you wear your black and white strip clothes, and then you go rob a bank. Everybody hands up! This is a robbery.
Thanks to your X-ray vision, Superman, you helped us find the criminal.
Yeah. What about if you play superhero with like fucking useless power?
Yeah,
that's sort of I would do it. I mean, that's more real life.
Then you have to think about
what if you have a power where you dream every time you dream, the person you dreamed about dies in real life.
Oh man,
that sounds terrible.
Can you imagine you fall in love, you dream about your lover?
Oh, that would suck.
That would suck.
Yeah.
It's like the
river. What if you dream about yourself?
Yeah.
They would pray that they could dream about themselves. Yeah. Otherwise, they go insane.
Yeah. So what is like the curse? Like
they don't go to sleep. They just don't go to sleep, is all.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we're talking, right? The Joker. I say the Joker should be the hero of the story. I kill Lois Lane and force Superman to do something right for a change, right?
Yeah, Superman could go crazy.
That's what I'm talking about. Injustice.
Okay, like Tony Stark, he would get alcoholic and cause all kinds of havoc with his armored suit.
Yeah. There you go. He made an authoritarian world government. You can go read about Superman's authoritarian world government.
I'm sure it's gonna be fucking gay and like it's gonna lecture you like how bad it is. And stuff
I think it will. I think it won't take a pro or authoritarian Superman.
You see, like that's my problem with all those like right-wing strong guy we had in the last decades, right? Just like my biggest gripe with them is like they didn't declare themselves dictator. It's like, stop fucking around, guys. We need you.
Our right wingers.
Cock, yes.
Well, right winger is anything not Democrat.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
But the problem,
they subscribe to the whole.
The problem with Republicans though is once they make all these great promises. I'll do all the things, and then they get elected, and then the first thing they do is get bribed by the Chinese.
Yep,
and that's it.
Yeah, the Chinese.
And now that they're owned by the Chinese. So we're
the Brazilians.
Yeah,
the Chinese control the Republican Party.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got Democrats siding with
why
the terrorists. The crazies.
The I in IPAC is for China.
I guess.
IPAC.
You know what IPAC is?
No, I don't actually.
No.
I'll Google it.
I
But I can imagine what the I means with context clues.
Yeah.
Using context clues.
But anyway, man.
Anyway,
what's a more realistic superhero that could?
Yeah. You don't have to play shitty superheroes. So why are you crying about these shitty superheroes?
The $6 Million Man, I hated that TV show because he was always rescuing nuns and orphans and shit.
Yeah.
Same with the A-Team. Let's go rescue.
What do you want him rescuing?
Because that's the thing, right? If you want to be a superhero that can do something useful, like establish an authoritarian government, you need to be like super high in power scale, right? That you can force your way into it.
Yeah, when I saw Spider-Man in 2000, I thought, this is it. Finally, they're doing it right. Finally.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. But let's say like you're...
Did he establish an authoritarian world government, Shauna, or was this unrelated?
Nope, he just...
I'm Team Zod.
He kicks... He beats up the bad guy. I don't remember who it was back then. Was it the Green Goblin?
Oh, Green Goblin? No, not Superman.
I think it was the Green
He's talking
Goblin.
about Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man you're talking about.
Yeah, Spider-Man beats up the Green Goblin or the Hobgoblin, whatever his
name
is.
The Green Goblin that was played by William Dafoe, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a revenge kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, Spider-Man is kind of goofy too, what he does and stuff like that. But like, he's a teen and stuff like that, just got his power. Like I can excuse that, right? He's not like...
He doesn't have world-conquering super god powers.
Yeah, exactly. He's not like Superman or Green Lantern.
He's only 8 times stronger than whatever.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, let's say like you're 3 times or 5 times stronger than a regular man, right? That put you in like a strongest regular man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That put you like in superhero category, right? Oh man, this guy can fucking bench 1,500 pounds, right? Or stuff like that, like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That put you, but that's not world conquering superhero.
Yes.
Oh no, he can still be shot with bullets and die.
Yeah. So what do you do now? Like, what do you do with all this strength? Like, feel like, well, maybe you get a job as a construction worker, and you get super paid. Right?
You still need a
job. That's not enough to do anything.
Yeah. Because you still need a job.
Well, what would you do, right? I'm super strong. I'm 4 times stronger than the strongest man. And what do you fucking do?
You win a lot of free drinks at a bar.
Yeah, or you compete in strongman competition, but then you get banned right away because, well, you're not just human, right? Just like, so that's have you gone.
So
you do some media shit.
What do you think about superheroes that are fish out of water?
Like Aquaman?
Yeah, I guess.
Superman?
Or like Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
All she knows is other chicks. Never seen a man before, that kind of thing. Never been to New York City before.
Yeah, she lived in an island, like
that. What's your question? How do you handle it?
Well, what do you think of it? Or do you think like
what do you think of it?
The superheroes should already know about your character's lore and history when they come visit you? Or should they act like, I don't know nothing? Like in that movie Splash.
Yeah. Well, like Superman is an alien.
I love Splash.
Like, he came in as a youth, but you have other one that came when they were older, right?
Yeah, Superman grew up with humans, so he knows all about humans.
So if you mean as a character, then it's up to the player to do whatever they want, I guess. If that's what they want to play.
I guess that's an avenue. I guess that's the way that you can like have interesting role play opportunity. Like, oh, I'm learning about the world, but like you do that like fish out of water.
What's this? A spoon?
Yeah, because sometimes Wonder Woman knows all about mankind, and then sometimes she's like,
she's been super educated on how terrible.
Yeah, sometimes she's like, well, I've been living in whatever my make-believe castle forever.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Wow. So I'm dressing inappropriately then in your culture. I see.
Yeah.
No one's told her that yet. Everyone's like, what? Who said that? You're fine.
Brazilian or Skaven, I'm telling you. Skaven are a fucking cool faction doing Warhammer 40 Warhammer. Not 40 Warhammer.
Let's roleplay as Skaven.
Yeah, Skaven.
Little Skaven.
I don't know today.
Warhammer
to be standing here today. Yeah. I mean,
have you played any of those Warhammer
Back in the day, I played some
Fighting-
Necromunda.
What was it called? Fighting. The FFG.
It was
They're
like
cool, those
Warhammer
things.
Fantasy,
Oh,
Fantasy Battle.
I've never played any of the Fantasy Flight.
Yes,
Fantasy
I played.
Flight, that's
No, FFG. Oh no, the FFG. No, I never played the FFG, but I do have like 4th edition. I played some, but not much. Just to
I really
test
want to
it.
try.
all right.
I like the concept of the Only War game where you're like in a battalion and you
Yeah.
actually
Humans?
have like squad buddies so that you can have casualties.
Already.
Yeah,
how
like
can
you're
you-
running.
Oh yeah,
with three
yeah.
guys.
It's like the fantasy version of like the
Dungeon.
squad leader, or like the skirmish kind of game, right?
So how do you
Yeah.
role play that stuff?
I don't know.
But
Because
I,
your character is only for killing things. That's. Oh, I'm awake. Oh, who do I need to kill now?
that's an interesting topic, and that's why also something like I link to the Roman Empire stuff, right? I think there's
Yeah.
some period in history, and there's some setting that are not super well suited for role play because they're too much about, like, if you're in a setting, and that's my whole thing about train and stuff like that, right? I
What
like
would your character be in
pre-train
Roman
period.
times?
In Roman time, exactly. Like, are you a legionnaire? Then you're just like always in the unit, always in a. Are you a peasant and you do nothing, right? There's like
Eunuch.
I find unit.
Yeah,
I find like there's a lot of
I'm saying what I would be. I'd
every
be-
day you're either building a fort or you're training for war
Yeah.
or you're in a war.
What if I'm a
yeah, exactly.
senator?
Or you're living in a city, or you're living on a farm, right? Like, I find like there's some period in history that are better suited for adventure, and that's also like I don't like. That's my whole thing about the train, right? The post-train era. I think that's the end of the adventure, and there was also like when society is very organized and very like thing becomes about like those are great setting for war game, not so much for
Yeah.
role-playing game. I think there's a big difference there. When things are all about like big movement of civilization, units working together, big group of people doing stuff, great for war game. And that's one thing I have with Warhammer 40K, right? It's always war. There's like people in the billion. Everybody is a nobody. There's no place for individuality. It's all
Yeah.
about the unit. It's all about the collective. I don't think it's a great setting for role playing game. I think it's a great setting for war game.
Okay, what about Egyptian time? Is that good for role play? In your opinion?
I think it would. Yeah, I think that could work.
Because isn't it the same deal? Or Greece? Ancient Greece?
I think
deal?
I think ancient Greece is not great because then again it's all about like the group, the collective. I think in Egyptian that's kind of foreign enough to me that I could imagine a little more. Right? It's just like there's a lot of mystery and stuff like that. A lot of like foreign god and just like magic and stuff like that. I think you can play something that'd be kind of unique. I don't see like when I think of Egyptian, although it was the case, a lot of like chariot battle and stuff like that and rank, but that's not necessarily what I see when I think of Egypt. I think of like mummies and weird god with animals head and shit like that.
Yeah,
right?
what the hell are you guys? What are you doing in the game? I mean, so in a Warhammer game, there's all kinds of different pockets of humanity doing all kinds of different shit, all kinds of different worlds.
Yeah.
So like, you don't have to be just at the front lines of some war.
Really?
But
Sure, why would-
do you?
book
Because
talks
like
about that?
all the pocket of humanity, they live like in those Hive world, and everybody's life.
Yeah,
is super complicated.
Necromunda is
then you're doing like the criminal stuff when you live in the underworld and stuff like that, which that works. But that's
I
one
need to
avenue.
look
It's
that
very
up. I need-
limited. right?
Inquisition stuff. You
I
could
need to
be
look that
like
up.
doing some
Inquisition stuff.
investigation
when you
into
do that,
corruption.
when you do Inquisition, it's also like you're also like in a military structure, so it's kind of regulated, right?
Sure.
You're not like a,
you're definitely in an authoritarian.
Yeah, I've watched people play
Situation.
that game. It looks very Inquisition-ish.
which
Yeah.
I like. Like playing an Inquisition in the 17th
is
century,
definitely
I
that.
would fucking love that, right? I would like our 16th century. That would be I would be all about it, right? Playing the Inquisition, like
What's the
I want to
difference?
find out what the average Joe is doing in
no
that universe.
mass communication, no heavy bureaucracy, like much less bureaucracy, much less like a rigid structure, much more personal freedom. I think you need to have this personal freedom, and if you want to have like
Okay.
character agency, right?
I guess. I mean, you just put yourself on a frontier world. There's lots of worlds in Warhammer 40K.
Yes,
Okay,
you
so
could
don't get
do that, but
don't
then
get
like
a lot of attention.
but then like you can then don't you lose also like kind of like the taste of the setting in a sense? Like you can say like oh like wait, you're gonna be on a frontier world where not all the things that are typical of 40K apply, right? Just like so then why bother?
What are the things that are typical to 40K that you would need before you?
Hive World, Servitor, the Adaptus Mechanicus, the Xenos, those
What about the
super rigged
Catachan world
society.
and
What?
the Catachan world? It's like Rambo. Everyone's Rambo,
I
running
don't know.
around in a jungle world, and like I just
I
want to play Hell again, I guess.
Yeah.
Then you got like
But that's the thing. If that's what you want to do, you can just do that without the 40K stuff, right?
sure, but
So
it can have the 40K stuff.
what is there to do in a
I'm saying it's a
frontier?
diverse setting. You don't have to pigeonhole yourself into anything.
What is there to do in a frontier game before trains?
Find chaos corruption. Yeah. Are we talking
No,
about Warhammer still?
No, you're talking about the
No.
Western.
Talking about Western before trains.
You fight with your neighbor about cattle and
Yeah.
gold rights, and you're a bandit,
Get
or you're a
deputized.
lawman, or you go from one to the other.
See, you could probably do that in
You fight with the
Egyptian or
native.
Roman times.
I agree.
Yeah,
Fighting with your neighbor, he's got more goats. How come
But, like,
they're
let's say-
allowed? And then you got, I want to marry this person, add them to my harem. Oh, they got that many slaves. I want that many slaves.
let's say you want to play in the Roman time, right? Let's say you want to play in the Roman time, and you say we're gonna do like a frontier game in the Germanic frontier. Is it more interesting to play the German or the Roman?
I would alternate because they're both good.
What's beeping?
Say it. Oh, that's my fan.
Oh, no, sorry. That's all right.
It's going bup.
I thought it was a cat trying to come into your room.
I don't know why my fan's making that noise.
It stopped now.
It's gonna fall on your head.
Oh,
no.
You don't hear it?
Roll.
No, it diminished.
Oh, maybe it's not me. Because it definitely didn't diminish.
But yeah, so both sides, I'd role play both sides. I'd alternate.
But don't you feel like if you're a Roman legionnaire on the Germanic frontier, you have much less freedom of action, no? Because you're in this.
I'm either standing at my post, standing at my post.
You're standing on your post, on your patrol with like
might be in a tavern.
Bus.
I could be delivering a scroll to some other general somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're setting the setting at the front line of a conflict.
It's like World War I.
If you're
trench.
doing that, then you're going to be in the front line of a conflict.
World War I trench. What do you do?
What I'm saying is when you're in a civilization that is like very organized, very regimented, or like in a group of people, like I say, like the legionnaire in the frontier in Germany, yeah, right? The military unit, you have less freedom of individual movement, right? You do what you're told, basically, right? So there's a limit in what you can do as a character, I feel.
Yes, if you have chosen a legionnaire in an army, then you are going to be given orders.
Yeah, the movie or the game session or whatever you call it, your character gets wounded and sent back home, and you find out that your whole family's been murdered by Germans.
But there's other thing you can do. You can say like, "Oh, I'm a merchant that is there trying to sell to legionnaire and the Germanic tribe," or you can say like, "I'm a German," or you can say, there's other thing you can do.
Yeah, and then the captain,
slave.
assigns a legionnaire to be your protector because your trade line is important or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe, yeah.
He has much more agency because he can choose how best to fulfill his orders.
Yeah. But it's still like it limits and that's what I'm saying. Like it's not I'm not
The
saying
limitation is
I'm not saying
self-imposed because the player is choosing a character.
Hey, what,
yeah,
what
but
if
I'm
you
not
play
saying it's impossible to roleplay. I'm saying it limits roleplay.
But limits are good.
Yeah.
In
what if you
roleplay
play
because they
what if you
give
play a
you the box.
space tax collector or a space accountant, and you're just in a cubicle all day forever?
Tax collector can be interesting. Tax collector, like if you do like the Roman style, especially like or the Greek style, right? You know, when you're a tax collector, you just get a contract for collecting the tax in the region, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
You
what
sh-
that's what the term farm come from. Like
yeah,
it come from the same word as firm because you had like a firm contract, which was a farm, right? Same word anyway.
yeah,
But you had like this contract and say like, oh, I'm gonna collect tax for you, and you bid on the contract, and you say I can collect that many pound of silver for you in a year, and then you go and you have to pay what you bid on. But if whatever you collect extra, you keep.
yeah,
So that could be an avenue. You play like tax collector in
yeah.
you play tax
There
collector
you go.
in the province of the Roman Empire. So now you have to go bully peasant and
Or
try to get their money.
or the serfs. You go after serfs in the
Finally, you've chosen a hero. The
right, they have
noble
a
tax
character.
collector.
Yeah.
I have a character with connections now. Yay. But I would think there's limitations no matter what setting or era you choose.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
are, but I think like some setting and era, like when society is a little more disorganized, I think it leaves you more place for adventure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But if
Those
you
chaotic time, right?
have limitations as a game master, it's much more easy to improvise like the world as they're
Yeah.
moving through it because you have these like tick boxes that it has to satisfy whenever you come up with something.
Yeah, but then again, like also like do you limit also like the player assumption of the world if you have like a more rigid
Well, they have expectations.
yeah, if they know about the world.
What
They
if you
should
play a
know
mad scientist who
something.
invents an alien life form and it escapes and it's in the lab running around killing people and you fear for your daughter's safety?
That would work well for a one shot
In
Yeah.
Rome?
in
And
Rome.
anytime,
Exactly.
anytime. It can
But
happen
and that's the thing too, like a lot of the if you want to play in those more organized time, like the more orderly time, right? That's oftentimes why it's interesting to play the criminal and stuff like that, or play like the underworld, or play like or the people chasing the occult, like the hidden world, stuff like that.
the rich guy in Egypt.
Yeah.
He wants this tentacle. He wants more of them. They don't know where they're coming from. They found them when they were digging.
They don't want to know.
They were doing the foundation for a new pyramid, and they found this tentacle in the ground. Yeah. It wiggles. It speaks to you. They keep it in a box so the echo in the heads isn't as loud. Anyway, the professor has it, and his daughter. He's trying to protect his daughter from it.
Are we in Egyptian time now, or are we in modern time?
Yeah, it's like 2000 BC, something like that.
Okay.
And it's a Cthulhu thing. It's a Cthulhu Egypt.
You find a tentacle in the ground, and you build a pyramid on top of it. That's what you do. That's what a pyramid
The scientist, the architect guy, he's going to take it to his buddy, who's like one of those botanist types. He'll be able to tell me what this thing is. But he goes crazy on his way over to the botanist house. The fauna dude
kills the botanist.
And
there you go,
like, throat.
Play Asterix and Obelix. That's what I think. That's what I was saying. Like playing the other side, like that are against the Roman, is oftentimes more interesting. Office job role playing, yes.
You probably don't want to role play a character that's going to get painted in the corner early.
Yeah.
Like they
anime
cannot.
Game. We didn't play an anime game.
They're in the Twin Towers when the planes hit.
They've all been anime games. That's the surprise. That's the twist.
Yeah, anime is not a genre. It's a medium.
Yeah. I can't stand anime.
No? Some of them are good.
I like to find good ones.
The originals with the original ideas were fine. But the
have you ever you never watched Cowboy Bebop?
No.
You would love that one, I think.
You think so?
It's a space thing, space western kind of thing.
I try watching stuff on YouTube.
It's very much a traveler game.
I
You should
can't
definitely
get
check it out.
I can't get past the animation. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, if you just don't like, sometimes I just don't like to watch cartoons.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that phase right now. I go through that phase occasionally.
I like Venture Brothers if I'm gonna watch a cartoon.
I never watched it.
My kid is finally interested in slightly more interesting things. So we're going through Avatar right now. She's into it. It's pretty good.
More interested.
I thought she would be a
more
good
interesting
film
than
for that.
what? What did
She's
your
a little
kid
bit.
watch before?
Doc McStuffins and
Paw Patrol.
the
VeggieTales?
Paw Patrol. Yeah.
Peach?
I don't know those things.
What was
I
that
know what
Peach one?
VeggieTales is. And also we got her to watch Bluey, which is a good show too.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I watched a lot of Speed Racer.
I've been watching BoJack Horseman lately. I never seen that show
Everyone
before.
dies in that cartoon.
I always assume it'd be crap because it's Netflix and it's kind of crap. You know, the progressive agenda that's there, like pretty heavy. But I can relate to this BoJack Horseman character. Kind of like a.
Is he like an authoritarian Superman type?
No, he's more like a. No. The BoJack Horseman is like a miserable, drunk piece of shit, always feeling sorry about himself.
The other one, the other wolf inside of you.
Exactly. Exactly. There's two wolves inside of me. One is like that, and the other one is like, yeah, I'm gonna crush them all and dominate. Yeah,
Crush
and
my
now I'm more on
enemies.
the. Yeah, it is what it is, right? But no,
Yeah.
I like most of the character are annoying, but I like the BoJack guy.
Fair enough. I
Never
don't
seen
think
it?
I will still ever watch it. I'm
No?
good.
Yeah.
I don't watch anything these days, man.
Yeah. Well, it's
nothing
better
good.
than most
I
things.
actually used to be and I guess I still am, like a really big fan of the show Survivor, the reality show.
With Joe Rogan?
No, that's Fear Factor.
Oh, sorry.
Survivor
never
has
watched any of that.
Jeff Probst. That's the
They had that guy. What's his name? Richard Hatch.
Richard Hatch. Yeah.
What about
the
Naked and Alone?
Is he still around?
He's alive. Yeah.
Okay.
He's got the TDS.
I remember everyone hated that guy on the show.
Yeah, that's why that show is what it is.
But then I watched first season and then that was it.
What about Naked and Alone? You watched that?
Is that
No.
clickbait? Are they really naked?
They are, but naked, it's all like blurred, and they have like a satchel, I guess. Stupid show.
But they're supposed to be in a jungle or on an island naked or nothing else.
Something.
Is it Naked and Afraid or is it Survivor that at some point they did like a man versus woman?
That one is it was Survivor Man's video, but it wasn't Survivor Man, but he was like the host of it. I forget what that guy's name is.
I think I watched one of those episodes.
Les Stroud?
Is that his name? Survivor Man?
Survivor Man, it's Les Stroud.
Yeah, so he's the host of the show you're talking about, because I know what you're talking about. Where
Yeah,
shows like the guys like catching the shark and
at some point they made one of those survival show, right? And they send like people like on two islands that are similar island, and they send the woman on one island and the men on the other island. After like the first day, the men were thriving and having a blast and having a party and like eating fish that they caught and
badass barbecues.
Exactly, having this barbecue and they build this shelter. And the other way, like the women like spend the whole fucking day like fighting among themselves and then going nowhere, turning into a round, getting lost, and like slowly dying. It was very funny, and I think they had to kind of like pull the show because he was kind of like making people sexist.
Well, it was pointing out reality.
Reality's a little sexist sometimes.
It was messing up the Democrat agendas. Get that show off the television.
That's the only time. That's the only time I've ever seen Naked and Afraid is YouTube's telling me about the disparity between the sexes. You know.
Yeah.
Those funny videos.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that's my thesis now. Like personal freedom, I think is important for role playing game. Setting that allows personal freedom.
Yeah, and it's fun to explore personal freedom when you're under heavy restriction. I think.
Like in modern days.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
no,
there will be.
I thought mean we like role playing character with personal freedom because we don't have much in modern days.
Oh, okay. Yes, I guess.
That
I'm
too,
pretty
eh?
good.
Yeah.
I do what I want.
But that's the thing. That's the thing as well. If you're in a setting that's very restrictive, yeah, you're gonna be drawn to play like the criminal, the underworld, the freedom fighter, a bunch of faggot.
I was gonna say more like you kind of get to interpret, maybe like it's fun to break the orders, like go against the officer sometimes because you're struggling with the morality of
Yes, because you want to
orders.
impose your
That's
will on the
interesting.
world. That's the big part of like you wanna have a character that can impose his will on the world. No, you don't want to be just like you don't because you want to protag. You're a protagonist. You want to protag. You don't want to be just like you don't want to
Is that
be
a
like
verb? Protag.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, you don't just want to be like pushed around by the world. You want to be proactive, and you want to impose your will on the world, not only have the world impose its will on you.
Sure, because that would be boring.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing the show along because I still have wine to drink.
Yeah. Well, I used to watch, or I used to run one shots based on Twilight Zone episodes because they were short, to the point, and the characters could still do things even though it takes place in one room of a house for the whole episode. Because you were talking about freedom.
You have one shots in one room?
Yeah, I do one shots that take place all in one room.
In a box.
I mean, it could just be a moral, it's a moral dilemma kind of thing, or...
Can you give me an example? Because that sounds interesting. I want to know a moral dilemma.
There's a trolley coming.
There's a trolley.
You have a lever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl's tied to the train tracks. A train's coming. What do you do? Save the train? Save the girl? Go to the bar?
I certainly don't save the train.
If we know anything, Max is letting that train burn.
Well, like there's that movie My Dinner with Andre where the two characters just talk to each other. Actually, one guy talks, the other guy just listens.
Yeah.
For the whole entire film. You could do that boring stuff.
There was a show. Yeah, go ahead.
You could do the thing where it's just a ballroom party. Stuff's going on. Busy. New Year's Eve, 1880, something like that. And it's wet outside. No one's going out. The party's fun. Hey, stick around.
There's a massive storm outside.
Yeah, massive storm, tornado.
So what do? Well, I go to the keg and I pull myself a beer.
Yeah, each character
I do a quick spin.
It's a solid action.
Yeah, each character is from another town. They rode in or took the train or whatever.
No,
they're stranded.
I did not take the train.
I walk.
You walk. You probably rode a horse. Maybe you're a posse looking for somebody. You think they might be at this ballroom party.
I ride in on my sled and dogs.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different reason for being at this one place at a particular time.
Although a game all set in a train could be cool.
Yeah.
Like the Murder on the Orient Express or shit like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No Way Out.
You could do a sandbox game on a railroad. I've done that plenty of times.
Ironically, Darjeeling Limited is one of my favorite movie, which is mostly set on a train.
Which
movie? The Darjeeling Limited. Wes Anderson movie.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen any of. Okay, did he do Mount Rushmore?
Yes,
he did Rushmore.
Yeah. He did Rushmore, not Mount Rushmore.
Okay, did he do
Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou?
What was before that one?
That's the one where
the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, Royal Tenenbaums. That's what I was thinking.
That's the one. I have those two movies. I don't have anything he's done since.
Oh yeah,
I love all three of those movies.
Did he do the Sunshine one?
Sunshine. No, that's fuck. I forgot. The Eternal Sunshine and Spotless Mind.
No. It's,
no.
This is about
Sunshine.
Middle Sunshine.
They're all in a Volkswagen bus.
That's
Yeah,
Middle
Little
of
Yellow.
Sunshine.
Did
That's
he do that movie?
Steve Carell.
Is that Carell?
Yeah, Steve Carell's in that.
Oh, isn't that who directed it?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't
Don't
that
know.
like a Coen brother?
That's what I'm asking.
That does sound like a Coen Brothers movie.
Alan Arkin's in it.
I forgot. Yeah, but I quite like Wes Anderson, but I haven't seen his most recent movie because at some point, like after Budapest Hotel, I kind of got sick of it. I said,
Yeah.
okay, I got what you like. Now you're just making like pastiche of yourself.
After a while, you get he's like Stanley Kubrick. You get the formula that he uses.
Yeah, exactly. And now you're just like double down on the same style, and you're like giving me like, I've seen those movies already, right? It's not fresh anymore. But
So what is it you like about his movies in general?
characters, there are good character in the movie.
I really like the character arcs, the dialogue, and the cinematography.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like
music's good too.
Hmm?
I like the music too.
Yeah, and I like it's about like people like living stuff, like feeling stuff, right? It's not just about like action shit, right? It's you got this drama, but it's like it's not a drama because like, oh, some people shooting at us. It's drama because of thing we're struggling with inside, right?
Yeah,
I like that. That's the kind of movie I like.
So do I.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched the rest of that other movie you told me to watch.
Embodying the duality of mind right there. Yeah, exactly. With me eating train, but one of my favorite movie. Also on a train. Yeah.
There's two wolves. One of them loves trains.
Yeah, so I do cabin fever scenes too for one shots where they're just stuck in a spaceship. No life support.
You guys are gonna be dead in an hour.
Yeah, it's like Cthulhu, but without Cthulhu. You're still gonna die.
That'd be interesting. Like you're certainly gonna die. Like there's no way around it.
Good evening, Mars.
Can you do a movie? Or I'm sorry, could you do a game? Not a movie. Obviously, you could do a movie about it because that's interesting. But could you do a game where death is certain in an hour?
Yeah,
and it's just like about these guys.
Well,
talky for a whole time.
They can think that that is certain. You can like broadcast them in a way or another that is certain.
Yeah, they think.
But and then the game is gonna be about them like making it not so, right?
One of them finds out that if I give you my oxygen, you'll live longer.
Oh, jeez. So first they fight each other at first.
Well, they have the fight scene, then they make up scene, then they.
How would you play a character with a death wish?
They think they're hearing a radio signal from Moscow or something.
I don't think it works.
Maybe the Russian, the Soyuz, aren't they nearby us?
Also, I want to say hi to Dice Tale that join us. We want to be empowered in ways that we're not
classy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's right as well. That's a big point of like role playing game, right?
But
the cabin fevers are good practice sessions for players just getting used to not killing dwarves and orcs and going after dragon treasure. They're
so cabin fever, like you're stuck in the tavern for the whole session.
Tight. Cabin fever. No one ever dies from cabin fever.
Guys, we got to get out of this tavern. I'm gonna hit on the bartender.
No one ever asks if there's a door at a tavern. The GM just says, "Okay, so now you guys have traveled to the dungeon. What do you do now?"
There's no door.
There never was a door.
Whoa! Travel to the dungeon?
What?
High noon, but death is certain.
High noon, but death is certain. What is high noon?
The movie.
What is it?
Gary Cooper, he's waiting for these bad guys to come on a train and they're gonna try to kill him. He's gonna try to kill them. Has a train.
There's a train.
You lost it.
At high noon, they do the
you need a new rule, Max.
What is it called what's it called in Hollywood movies where they have the cowboys stand outside in the road staring at each other?
A duel?
A standoff or
a standoff?
I guess
duel?
Standoff.
Yeah.
They didn't do those in real life.
Quick draw.
It looks cool for movies.
Yeah.
a showdown.
In real life, you would just get shot in the
There
back
is a
while you're
word
playing
for it. What is
poker.
the word?
Yeah. You know, that's interesting. No matter how you try, you cannot leave the tavern. You know, we always say that the RPG, like what RPG are about, is the opening door. So that's always like the challenge you face: how to open the door to get to the next door, right?
No door is ever opened.
Yeah. You
I
come
don't
across
think
the
you-
door. Oh no! How do we proceed now?
As interesting as the story might be, where it was just like two people waiting for death, talking to each other, I don't think you could make that a role-playing game.
What about like a 7 scene, the role play?
Well, it wouldn't be a
don't know what
long,
that is.
drawn out 4 hours.
You never
one
seen the 7
shot.
Seal?
No.
No. Oh, it's a guy like playing chess with death, like a
Yeah.
crusader playing chess with death.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Great movie.
Max
Great
Max
movie.
von Sydow.
Oh yeah, the
AKA
actor. Yeah, the actor, and the director is Bergman.
Esbern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How long ago was this movie made?
1958.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's an old movie. It's black and white, but it's a great movie.
Sounds great.
Yeah, you rewatch it.
That's great.
I'm excited.
It's their version of film noir.
So special treat for, are you almost done with your wine, by the way?
Yes.
Special treat for the stream watchers. Should we talk? I asked some people if they had Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
Should
Oh,
we
no.
stream a board game?
Oh man, stream the Wendy's
Which
RPG
one?
with that.
I don't know. We do Fury of Dracula.
I've never played Fury of Dracula, but I would be interested too.
It's basically hidden movement.
Yeah, I
And
know what it's about,
Oh, okay.
but I never played it. Yeah, it's a classic, right?
You guys ever played a spy game? See, that's another genre I like.
The salmon moose.
I didn't eat any salmon mousse.
Oh yeah.
I'll be
problem
done. I
is
used to
the
stream like a
purpose.
video game on my channel as well. So why not do board game, right?
I think I'm gonna start streaming a video game also.
Oh yeah, which one?
Alpha Protocol. You ever play that game?
Is that Tom Clancy stuff?
Isn't that like
Yeah, it's like a spy.
Battletech game? A spy game? Oh, okay, no.
Yeah. You're a
Oh
spy.
no, I'm talking about Alpha Strike. Yeah. No, I never played Alpha Protocol. I don't play much video game anymore.
Me neither. Except
Yeah.
for one game.
Except what?
All my video games are from over 10 years ago.
Yeah, me too.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Do you play games other than Fallout?
No, he's playing like
Like
Skyrim.
recently? Are you playing any other games recently?
Right now I'm
Playing
just
Bethesda game.
Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. That's all I have installed.
Yeah.
I have installed the RTS stuff. The Warhammer 40K Dawn of War.
Oh, I love that game.
The first one.
Yeah.
It's got like all the DLCs.
Yeah.
I've never played it.
You spent $5 and got everything or something.
No, I spent a ton of money because I bought it when it first came out.
Yeah, I loved that game when it first came out too. Played the hell
Which
out of
game?
it. Dawn of
War 19. What was it? Came out in 2000.
Oh no, that's not my genre. Yeah.
Maybe 2006 it came out.
Because it
I get
doesn't have
annoyed.
anime boobies on it.
I never played it because I was playing Supreme Commander at the time.
No,
Is that
I get
good?
annoyed by movie that bad video game that tries to tell you a story, right? Even like The Witcher, I get fucking bored. Like, just like,
Why
and it
would you
doesn't
get
make sense.
mad at a video game
The
telling a
Witcher?
story?
I would play The
I have to play
Witcher.
a game, and I have to be told a story. If I want to be told a story, I'm gonna watch a movie or read a book, right? I don't want to be like, if I want to play a game, I want to be
Yes.
tested on my skill.
Okay.
But
How
not
does
like
it-
they
how
make
does-
those video game fucking easy. Like you play The Witcher 3, right? People like rave about The Witcher 3. Oh, it's such a good game. So it's a great game. And I say like, what the fuck? Like, there's no game there. You just like fucking press X and shit, and it's like the game is so fucking easy.
What do you mean where
all
you
the
just
fight, like,
walk
you
around?
just-
It tells
Yeah,
you
exactly. You walk
what
around, you turn your brain
containers
up.
to open.
Yeah,
The
you follow like
game,
there's a spot on your map, on your mini map. You go to the spot, you do the thing that has to do. You don't have to fucking think, right? And just like the combat is fucking easy. And then you get the reward, and then the reward is being told more of the story. I don't fucking care, and the story is stupid too because like oh, you have to find Siri, but you're gonna be distracted by 10,000 things, right? Just like, well, am I supposed to be in a rush to find that girl, or am I supposed to fucking help every fucking peasant that asks me to help them, right? I fucking hate that, man. Just like,
so everyone you talk to had a story that they wanted to tell or
yes,
contribute, all right?
I don't fucking care, and they want something from you, and like, yeah, but I'm supposed to do something there, like, and no, oh no, I can just put that on hold. And
I was thinking of playing the Witcher games, but I see the combat, and the combat bores me to tears because it looks too. It's like an arcade.
Looks
game.
like a shitty Batman.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, it's the Arkham Asylum type of fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those games, but
and all the things you want to kill turns red color, so you know what to aim at.
Yeah, they're fun, like for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe an hour, right? Just like, but at some point, like, okay, I got, like, you know, every fucking fight is the same fucking thing. Oh, I'm gonna wait until like, oh, this guy's turn red. I have to press B now, right? Just like.
In Baldur's Gate 3, I would have played Baldur's Gate 3, but then I saw the D20 being used in the game. It's like, what the
what
fuck?
should they expect?
Yeah.
The fuck? Can't they just hide? Can't they just keep that in the background?
Oh, you're saying that you see it rolled on the game on the screen?
I don't want to click on the thing. I don't want to choose what DMs to add to it.
But that's the best part.
It's just like you're playing a role-playing game, and really, it's just like you're playing D&D.
Yeah. It's like you're playing the best D&D game session ever.
Sure. I don't know, man. It's like you're gonna be on railroad anyway because it's a video game, right?
Possible.
I might play it at some point with a buddy of mine, or with some buddies and some stuff. If
the levels,
I want to pay like $80 for it.
Yeah, the levels look like glorified, you know, Quake 2 levels. You have
I
to
would
go
play.
from here to
I would play it like if I could pay like $10 for it, right? Then I say, okay, maybe I'll give it a try.
Even if it has the D20, I'd get a mod that removes the D20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns it into 2D 10s.
I would get a mod that would remove the.
Just talk to the
dice mechanic.
Just talk to an NPC and see what happens. Don't wait for a die roll to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled a 20. You get to say whatever you want to this person now. Oh, great. Okay.
You can even say the good thing if you want.
But I'll admit though, that game is better than any D&D tabletop session.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we could do like we should run a 5e game at some point.
Sure.
Shoot me now.
We'll show you. We'll show you, Sean.
We'll show you it can be done.
I won't even watch it.
You'll be too curious. You got like this like morbid curiosity taking over.
No, this is what you do. No, play AD&D first edition.
That's when Seaner turns on us.
Yeah. Those guys used to be 4D players. I
don't know what happened. Idiots.
They're gonna try to play D&D 5e and 4D. Oh, this will be interesting.
I think actually it's not the worst system like 5e. I'm not like I think there's definitely a mistake in it.
The bonus action and the
the advantage
mechanics of it.
You have to chop half of that out. You got to chop out a whole lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it makes it hard to narrate around.
Just play a dude in a fantasy realm. That's it.
For me, like I like the advantage mechanic. I like that everything is a D20.
What about feats? Do you like feats?
I don't like the D20, but I like that everything is the same roll, basically. I'm not a big fan of feat, and I'm also not a big fan of like those class power, because those are too much like button that you press to activate some shit, right? I think that's a big part. That's a big problem with the game, and the game also is not nearly lethal enough. That's a big problem, but that's easily fixed. But
yeah. I want to try.
I know one guy that can 4D and D&D 5e.
Yeah, who?
Who is
his name's Aaron.
Oh, I don't know him.
Very well.
But I'm sure we could, you know.
He did a video response.
Okay. So he proved it to you. There is a way.
I haven't seen his game, but he described it the way it would work out. I can tell if someone's faking if they're a 4D player.
Yeah, I made a video about like fixing 5e, right? I made a video about that, like what I would change in the system.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I still think that the D20, the way it's used in D&D, is too lucky, because the dice has too much impact on the result compared to
Yeah.
what your character is, right?
It's too random.
Yeah.
It's like why would your character that is trained to do something really good be be chancing it on a D20 roll?
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? Oh, your character is good at something, you're gonna add a +5. Your character is bad at something, you're gonna have a -3 or some shit like that, right? So that's a very small range compared to the range of the dice. So like most of your result is gonna come from the dice and not from your character, and I think that's the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like in 40% difference. It's like 40% difference between the two.
From the dice.
Yeah, that's not really good.
The dice is like gonna be like 80% of your result most of the time.
I mean, RuneQuest tried to fix that by using a D100 instead, but then that introduced problems that the D100s have.
Well,
it's the same problem, right?
RuneQuest and Pendragon, they use the kind of dice in the same way, and Call of Cthulhu, it's you roll under your skill. So now, if you have a skill of 10, or if you have a skill of 20, right, then it changes a lot, right? It's not like the roll is still linear, but because you have to roll under your skill, it does change a lot your the odd, right? So,
I guess.
Yeah. So it's not like because
still, I mean, it's still percentages and odds. Doesn't matter if you're rolling over or under, right?
It does. No. What I'm saying, in D&D, you don't roll on under or over. You roll,
sometimes,
and then you add a bonus, right? So you're gonna add like
trying to roll
+3 to your roll, right? So you roll a D20, so you're gonna have like between 1 and 20, and then you're gonna add 3 to your roll. So there's like this little tree that just like edge the dice roll a bit, but the dice roll is most of your result.
Yeah.
If you have a roll under skill, like in Pendragon, you still roll D20, but you roll under your skill. So now like the skill part of the success matters a lot more. That's something I say. Like people say like, oh, but it's a D20, it's a linear roll, right? But actually, you don't want to look at the result of the dice if it's like doesn't matter if the result of the dice is linear or not. What you want to see is if the success is linear or not, because you have the result of the dice, which is one factor, and you have the target number or what you need to roll, that is the other factor. So if you roll the dice is linear, but the target number is on a curve, then you still have a curve to your result. But in D&D, both are linear. So that's why it's fucking a luck roll.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm probably too drunk to do like the math speech now.
No, just I prefer bell curve to linear.
Yeah. But like you could see like you could.
I certainly think that +3 is not a high modifier on a D20 roll.
But that's gonna be the usual modifier in D&D, right?
Yeah, like +5 to +7.
Yeah, but in 5e you rarely go over +6. +6 is a very good modifier.
Is it?
Yes.
Because your proficiency is +2 or +3 if you get to level whatever.
Yeah.
And you have an attribute that's +3, I guess. So if you're proficient, something you're kind of good at, it's +6. It's not that unusual.
Should I do my
test again? You can get up to a +5 on your attributes.
But it's good because you're high level and you're pretty good at what you're doing.
Yeah. So if you had like a +8, which is not uncommon.
Like a 0 would be like your average of what you do, and a +6 would be you're pretty good at what you do, right? It's not a big shift.
I agree. First of all, I want to say I agree with you. It should be bigger.
Should I do my test to see if anyone in chat is paying attention?
Sure. But basically, like a math,
like 70% skill in English mean 30% of the time when I talk to somebody, they have no clue what I'm freaking saying. Seems wrong.
I agree. Like the difference between someone who is unskilled versus a master should not be like 40%. It should be like 300%.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah, I think Dice Tail already beat me to it.
What do you say?
What I don't like about BRP.
Wait. Oh yeah. what I don't like about BAP and RootQuest is because the skill trend to be so low, like between 30. Yeah, that I agree with that. So you think you're falling
same
at
with
yeah,
Palladium.
yeah,
Because I'll
and
say
that's
that. I'll say that some guy who's competent only has a 40% chance of doing his job.
yeah,
But then
and that's
people say, Shauner, you don't roll for everything. It's only for special occasions.
Yeah, but that's also one thing I say. You know, like I'm a big fan of Pendragon, but for a different reason. But Pendragon is based on the BRP system, but they changed to a D20 system. But also the skill are much higher, right? So because they expect that your character is competent at what he does, right? It's just like, yeah, you're a knight. You're not gonna fucking like miss all the time on doing knight shit, right?
Yeah, the king says, troops or what does he say? Archers, do your arching. And they all fire from the
Arch
from
away,
wall.
guys.
There's like there's like 100 guys on the castle wall, and they all aim and go. And the arrows are going, and only 40% of the arrows hit anything.
Yeah.
Wake up, archers. Go back to the.
I mean, they train every day to hit the bullseye all the time.
At level 2, they are 42%. So
there you go. There you got
not
that.
bad.
But also, like, how much better is somebody that's very good at something than
that's what I'm saying. Like
something.
In D&D world, it's like 10% better.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like 200% better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about target numbers that move?
That's what Max is talking about.
Target number.
I'm against target numbers.
If the target number is your skill, then it's moving all over the place.
What if it's the difficulty?
It's always your skill, right? It's just like I think I don't mind if the target number move, but you shouldn't have like two things that move.
That's
right?
True.
You shouldn't have that's something that bothers me in a
GURPS moves the target number and it moves your die roll.
Yeah, like in World of Darkness. In World of Darkness, the target number move, and sometimes the number of success you need move, right?
Yes, that was fixed.
I think that's kind of annoying.
I like it when the target number is fixed, no matter who's trying to do anything with the thing. Instead of it, you're better at this. Oh, let's move the target closer to Johnny. He's better at this.
Yeah, and that's also something that bothers me in the Castellum Crusade, right? Just like, that's you're using one of your primary attributes, so the target number is going to be better. And I think like that's backward. Like, target number should be based on how hard this thing is to do, right? Oh, you want to jump like a 15-foot chasm, then that's how hard it is. It doesn't depend on you. It depends on the environment, right?
I was reading some rule where the target number is your skill plus your attribute, and you roll under that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what game system it was.
Yeah, that
sounds a lot like Pendragon.
Yeah, exactly.
My next game I'll read is going to be Hero Systems. Was it Champions 6th edition or something? Or Hero 6th edition, something like that. The superhero crap.
Shauner hates nearly half the thing I do. That's probably true, but because Shauner hates something, it doesn't mean something is bad.
It usually means.
It just means I hate it. I just hate things that people keep doing.
And we all have opinions, and it's the same thing for all of us, right? We have opinions about this stuff I hate. It doesn't mean that you're wrong for liking those stuff. Like, I hate Train. You like Train doesn't mean like you're dumb, right? Just like it's a personal thing.
I'm an internet bully.
Exactly.
According to Legion of Myth.
The hobby. Yeah. You have people are allowed to hate things. Doesn't mean you have to say like, oh, what? Like, am I wrong to liking that? Well,
yeah.
Not necessarily. Just like we have different tastes. We are allowed to
but probably.
But probably, yeah.
Yeah, but you're probably.
It's just right. someone says they're a role player, and then I go watch their game, and I don't see any role playing. All I see is some guy stage acting in front of other players. Look how cool my voice is.
Yeah.
We should have done an April Fool's game where we 2D'd the shit out of it.
So like in like 300 and then
that would have been a riot.
59 days.
Doing all the
How many
Mother
days you
AI
guys want to
stuff.
wait? And then you guys go, how many days is a good wait?
Yeah. But Shauna,
think
you
we
said like
should all
you ate
wait
like
3
you said
days.
you ate like target number moving, right? But like in
Yeah.
that's what happened in Traveler basically. Like, oh, is it like average? Is it routine? Is it difficult? Right? Just like it's the
Yeah,
target
and
number moving.
yeah, Traveler before second edition moved the target number around.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I take that back. Traveler before second edition, you always had the target number was always 8 or higher. It didn't move. But you would
What do you
move
mean?
your
8. Oh yeah, okay, I get
to
it.
You
succeed
modify the roll.
to
8 or
to
higher, yeah,
succeed.
okay.
Yeah,
8
you had
plus.
to roll an 8 or higher to succeed at anything.
Yeah.
But you'd
Oh,
move
it
your
does?
die roll around
Yeah.
depending on how
Yeah.
hard something was.
Yeah,
But
Mongo
it's the same
second
thing, you
has
can tell, oh, you have
modifiers.
-2. What, sorry? Go ahead.
The second Mongoose second has changing difficulty and
Yeah, it has a
modifiers.
changing difficulty, but once it's changed, it doesn't move again. It stays where you put it.
Yeah.
So
But
you make something easy or hard or very hard, the target number, you put the target number there and it stays there. It doesn't change based on what the guy rolls.
Because at some point, like, it doesn't really matter, right? If you can say like, oh, the difficulty is 8, but you're gonna have a -2 on your roll, it's the same thing as, oh, the difficulty is gonna be 10, right? Just like,
Yeah, but see, you did less math. For
who
the
did less
second,
math?
you did
For the
less
second?
math for the second example.
Yeah, but I moved the target number. Because I know you hate that, but I love dice pool system.
It's easier to put the target number where it needs to be than to fudge the dice to make it away or close to the target number.
Yeah.
Because you said subtract 2.
In Bastard Sword, that you can see like the logo we have now working on, right? The working logo for Bastard Sword. We can show again for people that just join. I do have like a dice pool system, and it's always like the same target number. But you can have like malus on your roll.
But you have like a number of dice to roll, right?
The number of dice to roll is based on your skill. So the higher your skill, the more dice you roll. The type of dice you roll is based on your attribute. So if your attribute are better, you can roll bigger dice.
So what's the abbreviation again in your game? It's S something something.
SDA.
SDA, that's it.
Yeah, for skill, because it's like we say like 2d6, right? Well,
yeah.
S is the skill, determine the number of dice. Then D for dice, and A for attribute. The attribute determine the type of dice. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what we do, and it's like you always it's a success based game, which I know you hate, genre. Which I don't think like the game I'm writing on. I'm sorry to say, it's not gonna be a game for you.
Success based? What does success based mean?
Every like if you roll a 4 or more on dice, that's 1 success. If you roll a 8 or more on dice, that's 2 success. If you roll a 12 or more on dice, that's 3 success, and so forth. Right?
Okay. I just call
every die that you roll can potentially add, or do you add all the dice and then figure out how many 4s you have?
No, every dice you roll can potentially add, because I didn't want people to have to do math. I didn't want to people like you roll 5 dice. I didn't want people to add those.
Hey,
5
what's
dice
56 divided by 4?
Exactly, I didn't want to do that. That's exactly what I didn't want to do.
Yeah. At some point,
so
you have to.
Okay, that's a 4, so that's 1. Like that's a 6, that's 1. That's like, so you can just like try like classify them like quickly. Okay, I got 4.
If you roll like 10d6, then you add up all those numbers together. That's a pain in the ass.
Yes,
but if you roll, at some point you have to say, okay, they're successes,
and then you have to divide it by 4.
Then you go. If you do 10d6 and you're just looking for only 6s, or only 5s or 6s.
Phil, if I went to the way that you add all the dice together, I wouldn't have done divided by 4, because that'd be nonsensical. I would just like multiply all the difficulty by 4, right?
I guess I don't want to think about it anymore. It's just a joke.
No, I get what you mean.
And then you do.
I believe you, Max.
Yeah.
I believe you. Please.
He was just. Phil was just making a joke.
Yeah.
You always divide by 4 though.
And that's always what I do. Like, and it's like difficulty or like 0, 1, 3, 10, basically. Like that's all you have to worry about. Like, do you have like 0 success, 1 success, 3 success, 10 success?
What if you have 6 successes? Then how do you role play the outcome of that?
Well, then you can do something that requires 3 success, but not something that requires 10.
Take your number
Your
of
mind
successes,
explodes.
divide by 10.
Yeah.
If the number's less than 1, rounded up still.
Yeah. Don't forget to carry the 1.
Yeah.
But no, if you're trying to do something that requires 3 success and you roll 6, then you got an extra 3 success that sometimes is gonna give you bonus thing to do. So now you can succeed.
Now, in your game,
more.
do you save your successes for later? If
No.
you have too many of them?
No, I didn't want to do that. It's too much bookkeeping for my taste.
There's no beads. You're not going to sell any beads for your game.
No bonus spirit.
No, I didn't want to do that. I'm trying to reduce. There's still quite a bit of big bookkeeping, but I tried to reduce it as much as I can.
Spirit token.
Spirits it's kind of like the health.
Yeah, it's kind of very like I call
spirit. Do you wear necklaces each time you get a
resource
success?
Yeah,
3 immunities because you're wearing 3 necklaces.
We call it a necklace pool system.
Yeah, necklace pool system. Yeah.
The bottle, if the bottle spins and points at you, you die.
Yeah, and if you show your tit, you can get an extra necklace.
And you have to kiss Max.
Extra hearts. You live another round.
Yeah.
No, because
that's who's living.
That's always I'm always like something to some. Oh man, we'll do a fucking like test game soon. I've been working on it. I'm working on like
be the next Monday game, not this one, but the next.
But you're right though. I do hate die pool games where you look at all the 1s or all the 6s. I don't like.
Yes. Like what I don't like about that, where you just sit there looking at all the 1s, and that's something I talk about Phil about, like the World of Darkness thing, and I didn't realize before we went back to it, because what I hate is when you have like kind of 2-step to solve your dice roll, right?
Yeah.
So now you count your success, and then you count the 1, and then you subtract the 1 from the success. That's too much. If you just count success, if you just say like, roll those dice, everything that's more than 4 give you a success, then I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I don't do the thing where if you roll double 6s, that counts as 3, 4, 5, successes. I don't do that stuff. Those are optional. I read that and I think, these are optional rules.
They also took 1s out of B5.
But some games use 1s. It's just, if you're doing a theme where the longer you're in the game, the more dread there is, you're not rolling for success, you're rolling for dread. You want to avoid rolling 1s.
So you want to avoid rolling.
Yeah.
I was thinking about at some point about a game mechanic for a different game, not for Bastard Soil, but I was just like playing with some idea where the more stress you get, the bigger dice you roll. And if you're calm, you roll like D4 and shit like that. If you get like stress, you roll like D20. But like the idea was like the game get more swingy as the more stress you get.
Yeah.
Like the idea that like when you're like nervous and stuff like that, you can like with the adrenaline you can do like amazing stuff, or you can like fucking bundle up stuff right more.
So you're trying to roll low?
You try to roll high. It doesn't matter, right?
It could be manic. If you're manic, you get to roll the D20.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this done.
So exactly. So because you could get the same number, like technically, you can roll like 5d4 or 1d20, right? And if you try to roll high, then in both cases you can roll a 20. But
that's weird.
With the 1d20,
now we're dividing.
What?
I said now we're doing division.
No, we're not. You just add the number together.
Just sit there and go
What's 5?
And flip a coin. You have a 50% chance of succeeding.
If I say like roll 5d4, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get between 5 and 20.
Yeah.
And you just add the dice together, doesn't matter, right?
Uh-huh.
If you roll 1d20, you can get between 1 and 20.
Mm-hmm. How do you determine if you're rolling a 5d4 or a 1d20 in that one?
Well, that was like the stress mechanic I was talking about, right?
Yeah. So you can't roll 1 with 5d4.
No, because you're calm, you can take more of your time, right? You're not nervous and stuff like that. So you're not gonna have like as bad as failure. You're probably gonna do average.
Oh, I see.
But
what
if you
you mean.
go,
Your
if you
average is better.
if you get like the stress eye up, right, then you might fucking screw up. But you can also like do something that surprise everybody because like you all have the adrenaline and stuff like that. Like I was thinking about that for a horror kind of game, right? I thought it was a cool mechanic. That was a cool idea. I might do something with it one day.
So where'd you come up with 5d4 and 1d20?
It's just an example, man.
The chance
Okay.
of rolling a 5.
It's not fleshed out. You're just.
No, you would go like you could be like 2d10, right? It would like scale up. Like
Yeah,
the
but
more
I'm saying you're
the more
dividing.
stress
You're
you get.
dividing 20, right?
Well, just because that it's an easy number, it probably could be like divided 12 because then you have like you can do like d8, d4, 2d6, 3d4, 1d12. Maybe 12 is the number, right?
Maybe.
It's not a fleshed out game yet.
I
It's
know.
just an idea, right?
I don't know why I'm arguing.
It's just an idea that the more stressed out you get, the more swingy the roll get. Right?
I'm getting stressed out right now. I'm
The
getting
chance
stressed.
of rolling
roll a more swingy die.
I will.
the chance of rolling a 5 is 0.1%.
Yeah. But you know, like I that's the thing. I'm kind of a math guy, so I like thinking about like stat and
I like
probability
math
and stuff
too.
like that. Yeah. Well, I guess you're like a geometry teacher. Geometry is linked to math, no?
Yeah.
Well, I like
Geometry
trigonometry.
is math.
Yeah.
Geometry is theorems. I hate theorems. I hate
I
geometry.
love it.
You need theorem, man. It's great. You know what?
Love
You know what?
proving theorems.
Proven theorems. A equals B, therefore you're stupid.
It's like logic plus math. It's fun.
I like trigonometry and analytical geometry.
To reach a 20 with 5 dice mean yes. So if you have 5 dice, you're probably gonna be able to do something more average. That was the like exactly. You have less of a bell curve
You have
if
less
you
swing.
yeah
20,
exactly.
yeah, 20 to roll a 20 with that is the 0.1% chance.
More than 3 dice make it a bit hard to read. I like even with 3 dice, like you are like that's something I noticed with people. You ask people to add together more than 3 number, they fucking stall, man.
I wonder if you didn't mind.
Find new humans.
Yeah.
Play with better humans.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
get some
Like
people that can add numbers.
yeah. No, but seriously, like you like because like they have to like they just add the 2 first number and then they have to remember the result of that addition and then do another addition on top of that. That's fucking too hard for them. Like I said,
get a paper out.
Yeah,
write
exactly.
it out.
Yeah.
12 and 13 both have a 15% chance of rolling.
Oh.
Yeah. So in that game, better cocaine give you better dice. Well, I don't know if it's better, more swingy.
Yeah.
Exactly, that would be the kind of
More
thing.
swingy.
You have more chance of a higher result.
Yeah. Also, like
the highest results.
After I'm done with Bastard Sword, I also want to work on a game about a biker gang. Did I tell you about that before?
Nope.
No? Like you want to design another game?
Yes.
Why don't you just design that one?
Are you making generic rules, agnostic rules from your Bastard Sword?
Bastard Sword is a little more agnostic, but the other one is going to be much more thematic because it's going to be a biker gang, which is going to be like based on D6s. So you're probably going to roll a number of D6 and pick 2 that you choose, and you want to make a 7 because it's all about like riding motorcycle, right? And it's motorcycle, it's about balance, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thematic. You know, when you ride a bike. Have you ridden a motorcycle, Chandra?
Not a motorcycle, just regular bikes.
Oh, you should do that, man, before you die.
I taught myself how to ride a bike when I was 5.
Ride a motorcycle. It's fun. But when you ride a motorcycle and you go on high speed, right?
If I can get a motorcycle that makes no noise, I'd ride.
Well, now you have the electric one. They're pretty quiet.
That sounds gay.
Yes, it does.
Don't you want power? Don't you?
Oh man,
you want horsepower between your legs, not
electric motorcycle are torquey as fuck. Fuck, they have a lot of torque. There's that. But
on or off.
It does sound gay, and you have no clutch, which is also like a big fun of the motorcycle is that too, like knowing when to shift and stuff like that. With electric motorcycle, you lose
a shift on a motorcycle. I think it would just be a gradual flywheel uphill spin. I don't know.
There's gear shifts on regular bikes.
What?
Regular
Shifter on
bikes got
regular
gear
bike.
shifts.
Regular bikes,
Yeah,
you
but
just
it's not the same
take your
thing.
foot off the gas.
What?
No,
Can you
yeah.
take can you just take your foot off the gas on a motorcycle and let it just coast?
No, because it's gonna at some point it's gonna stall if you go too slow on a too high speed. So you have to know when to shift. But also, if you want to have performance, you have to know like what's the right speed to be on, right, at the right moment, and when to shift, when to downshift, when to.
See,
All, like,
I'm a lazy ass when it comes to transportation. I just want to point the vehicle where to go and hit the go button.
yeah.
I don't want to fuss with shifts and clutches and gears.
Yeah, but that's the thing that's fun with motorcycle. But anyway, also when you take a curve with a motorcycle, right, you want to lean low, and go fast.
Yeah.
And sometimes you take a curve and you take a curve too fast, and then you get scared and you want to straighten up the motorcycle.
Oh, that's not good.
But that's the worst thing you want to do. What you want to do if you're going too fast in a curve is to lean the motorcycle down lower, right?
Yeah, just slide your ass on the street.
Like your knee on the street, exactly.
And hopefully the car behind you doesn't run you over.
Yeah, and sometimes if you come in a curve and you lean the motorcycle too much, you get scared, you want to slow down, but that's the wrong thing you want to do. You want to speed up. So that's why I wanted to have this mechanic where you roll 2d6 basically and you want to hit 7 because you want to get a low number and a high number, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a dice mechanic that's very thematic about motorcycle riding. And I want to have this game where it's kind of like a biker motorcycle game, but also like kind of road rash motorcycle game where you have like fight at high speed on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I find like
it's Road Warrior.
Yeah, and I find like because I find like a lot of the games that are made with vehicle combat is meant to be fast and to feel fast. But a lot of time when you're in a game and you go into vehicular combat, it feels fucking slow. It fucking all to a grind, right? Because like, no, there's all those factors to come, and that's something I want to solve. That's something I want to try to address. I want to have like a game that you have combat at high speed. It should feel that you're going at high speed, right?
Yeah.
So that's I feel like fighting motorcycles that should be over in a round.
Well, it can be like a few rounds, like, like, because it's a fight and a chase. Yeah, Car War. Like, that's
Car Wars will drag it out for days.
Exactly.
A simple motorcycle duel.
Yeah, and like, and that's the thing. Like, oh, that lasted like a few seconds, right?
Yeah,
or a few minutes, but it fucking took like 3 hours of gameplay, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not opposed for it to take a few rounds because, like, well, now before you won't get the guy, you to hit the guy with your chain, right, or with your bat. you have to cut up to him, and then there's all this thing about maneuvering and stuff like that. So there can be like this kind of thing, but it need to feel fast, and you need to feel like that you're.
Yeah, but we didn't know any better. I didn't know any better in 1980 that I was playing a war game. I thought I was playing Road Warrior. No, you're playing a war game with just two cars.
That's my approach with game design, right? I got like this issue in game that I see that I want to solve. Now with Bastard Sword is like, well, can we have a crunchier game that supports role play instead of getting in the way of it? So now that's the question I'm trying to solve. The next question I want to solve is
what if you just have a motorcycle skill? That's it. You just have a motorcycle skill and you roll.
That's not enough, I feel, for a game about motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's only about motorcycles?
Yeah, it's about motorcycle gang fighting.
What about what if you're terrible at motorcycle, but you're great at fighting with a bottle of beer?
Well, then you can you still have to ride a motorcycle. I grew up in the 90s in Quebec, right? I don't know if you ever heard of like the Montreal biker war in Quebec in the 90s, right? That's the time that's when I grew up. So
I live down the street from Hell's Angels, so it's common.
Yeah.
Common stuff.
And I'm a motorcycle enjoyer myself. Even though
did you get involved in a war at some point?
No, not. I've worked with some bikers at some point, but I didn't get involved in the war. I was too young back then.
Yeah. They said, "Stay here, take care of your family."
I've never been like in a biker gang myself. I did like some work for them, but never been in the gang.
Cool. Just a couple murders. Got it.
Just a subcontractor. Sometimes you get to go find somebody, or just
Sure, of course.
deliver a message or something like that, right?
You ever join a nerd gang? They all have slide rules and stuff.
Yeah.
They all have
No.
glasses.
The leader has the compass.
Yeah.
The stabby compass.
Stay away from them nerds.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
You think you can outsmart a bullet?
Yeah, that's what the chat is saying.
So it's only about motorcycles then.
Synesthetic.
In a
Yeah.
world with
That's-
only
that's,
motorcycles.
Nicolas getting word. Max enjoys synesthetic system, I believe. Yeah, system that using the system feel like the thing should feel. I guess there's an alignment between I guess you could say that. Yeah.
So true to theme, sort of.
When I was a kid, it was Evel Knievel doing jumps over
Like-
buses.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. You could do
And
that.
he took on the Hells Angels in some sort of super fight.
He took on the nurses in the hospital.
Nurses.
Caesar's Palace. He almost died. He was.
I guess
he was-
even in Bastard Soul, you got if I understand the word correctly, you got a synesthetic part, because if you're shit at something, your bad skill, you're gonna roll roll 2d4 for that test. And if you use real dice, right, you get those 2d4 in your hand, you feel like kind of shit. If you're good at something and you're gonna roll
are you gonna
4d10
build? Are you
or
gonna
5d10, then
Are you gonna
it's
build
much
your own
more-
motorcycle in this game? Because it sounds like you have to build your own motorcycle,
That'd be cool.
and the motorcycle has all these stats.
Yeah,
attributes.
I was thinking about having stat for motorcycle, but I still need to work on it because I put it on a back burner. I had this thing now you have your skill dice. I was going with 3 color of dice. You need to have color dice at D6, but in 3 colors.
What if your motorcycle has 3 tires on it? Do you get better die rolls or worse?
That's not a motorcycle. That's a trike.
Yeah, but people are gonna build those.
They
Yeah,
suck.
and they'll fight
They don't
people.
count. If
They're
you
gonna be in
lose,
your game.
if you build that, you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to roll 3 dice now?
No.
Rule number 1:
Yeah.
More
No, you just lose.
2 wheels, not 3, not 1.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're gonna lean on a trike.
And there's the guy with the unicycle. Oh, man.
Unicycle will be legit, I guess.
Yeah, the guy shows up and he
You ruined it
sits
for everyone.
inside the
3-wheel
wheel,
guy.
and he has to blow the control like in the
Mhm.
South Park
Yeah.
cartoon.
But
he has,
because
he has to sit on. He has to have the thing up his butt.
I was thinking you would have 3 color of
Sucks.
dice, and let's say
No.
red, yellow, and green, just to
No
be
wild dice.
dramatic, right?
No exploding dice. I hope, right?
No exploding. I don't like exploding dice.
Okay.
But the idea was if you roll red dice, you can only use them low. If you roll green dice, you can only use them high, and if you roll yellow dice, you can use them either way, right? And you have to pick 2. You roll a bunch of dice, and you have to pick 2 to make a 7. But like I said, that's very early. It might be too slow as a system. But I was thinking 1 could come from an attribute, 1 can come from a skill, 1 can come from gear. So your bike could give you this bike gives you a red dice and a yellow dice. This bike gives you a green dice because the bike is more maneuverable, right?
Okay. What if you're 1 with the motorcycle? Do you get a bonus or a minus? Instead of just sitting there with your sissy bar behind you,
Yeah.
leaning back, you're all leaning back like this. And the other guy, he's all ninja. He's all plugged in like Light Cycle from Tron.
Yeah. So the bike that'd be more all ninja and stuff like that would be faster and more maneuverable than the cruiser. Cruiser or not.
But he wouldn't be able to just whip out his gauntlet and hit you in the helmet.
That's a nice consideration.
His hands are going down these slots. He's in the groove, man.
That could be an interesting consideration. Yeah.
And the guy with the chopper's
Yeah.
Maybe if you're on the chopper, you got a bonus on your attack roll. but you're not so good on the maneuver.
More stable.
No, he can't swing because he's got that stupid flag behind him.
Oh yeah, he definitely has a large orange flag.
And he'll hit the pig behind him.
Yeah. So you're saying he's got a lady behind him.
He's got a hog.
Yeah.
Is that,
but anyway,
is that a respectful term for lady?
But she has a shotgun, and then he's got.
If you got a passenger too.
He's got a grenade. He's got grenades he pulls off of, and she's got a bazooka or something.
Smart.
Yeah. But I think we need this kind of game that is like do the vehicle combat that feel fast, feel that we're going place, feel that it's maneuver, that you're pushing the edge, right? That you're taking risk, and not just like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna do this like advanced math and calculate the, like we haven't. That's something we haven't solved in role playing game. I find.
If you hit a pothole going at 50 miles per hour, do you live or die?
Oh, that's the thing, right? I say like if you do like because I say you try to make a 7, right?
Yeah.
But then you can fail by going too high or going too low, right? And that's a different mechanic too, because you often like it's not like, oh, you're trying to roll high or you're trying to roll low. No, you're trying to make a 7, so it's in the middle, right? So the bell curve and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you fail by going too high, then it's one type of consequence. If you fail in going too low, it's a different type of consequence.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
So you're trying to stay in the middle.
Exactly, because that's what I'm saying, and that's the thematic with the motorcycle. It's about balance, right? It's about like you push. You can use a 6 for your roll if you have a 1, but if you didn't roll a 1, the 6 is useless, right? So it's all about this balance kind of thing, and I find that's what I find like it's always so thematic with motorcycle, and that's what I wanted to try to do.
Sounds cool.
And I'm gonna call it something like a Fallen Angel, probably.
I don't know.
Because that sounds like a kind of a name that a motorcycle gang could use.
Yeah.
And also, F is the 6th letter of the alphabet, and 1 is the first, which make a 7, 6, 1. Like motorcycles sometimes used to use the number of their, like the 8, 1, right? Just to use an example for HA. It's all thematic. Very different than what I'm doing with Bastard Sword.
I don't know numerology.
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk about the Hells Angels a whole lot in your game. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't mention them by name.
Yeah.
No, they would be. They would be a clan or a faction, though.
They're very protective of their brand. Let's just say that.
I don't like it when people they get involved.
I would also use add some probably like some class of like or some brand of like some clan of like the Bazuzos like in Japan, the one that like to build like those ridiculous looking motorcycle and stuff like that, right? And do like stunt and just like cause ruckus, some gang that are like on speed bikes, some gang that are on cruiser and stuff like that, right? Just like I think.
What about the trike gang?
Fuck trike on motorcycle.
You ever watch this movie?
On any Sunday.
No, I never. It's about
documentary. It's a documentary on dirt bike racing in the 70s. Steve McQueen, he's in it.
Yeah. Oh, Nicolas asked. Oh, sorry, man. Fuck. Oh shit! I lost my page. Oh, shit.
But it talks about how to handle a motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Racing around and stuff.
On dirt bike though, eh?
Yeah, dirt bikes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about buying one there right now.
Going up mountains and crap.
Yeah. Trying to get a specific number, we have a modifier as a nudge. That's something I consider. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with the number of dice and then you just pick 2, or you just always roll 2 number, but you can do like you have like +1 or -1, right? Like, oh, your skill is high in control. You can subtract 1 to a dice, right?
It's kind of a cool way to add like a half modifier too. You could just do like you have an optional +1.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I would like I said, like I was at some point I was doing some tests with it.
It's probably less It's
I was
more
doing some tests with it,
complicated.
but I kind of forced myself to put it on back burner
Mhm.
because I want to finish Bastard Sword.
Yeah.
I tend to get distracted, but like speed for me is going to be essential. So I'm probably going to go with whatever feels faster. Yeah, but that could be a thing. That could be instead of having like your bike is very controllable, so you can add a dice, add a red dice, right? It could just be like, well, your bike is very controllable, so you can subtract one from a dice. So now you can basically lean your bike lower.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we represent, right?
What about
Without-
self-driving motorcycles?
Nah, that doesn't fit the team. Like I used to have like this big ass fucking bike, that had like a 25 centimeter rear tire.
What?
25 centimeter rear tire, like big fucking fat rear tire. It was like a muscle bike, right?
Yeah.
Very powerful, like 1700 cc.
Did chicks get to ride on it?
Yes, you could
Okay.
do like a 0-60 in 4.5 seconds, right?
Okay.
Powerful bike. But because of the rear tire, and the rear tire give you like a lot of traction and stuff like that, but then you also like want to keep the bike upright, so you have to push much more to lean in low. And
Yeah.
also because where the peg were placed, I always I had to change my peg every fucking year because I would like grind them to the ground, right, to the asphalt.
Yeah.
Because you lean the bike, but then the peg are low, so then they just like get chopped off. Just
Yeah.
get worn on the asphalt, which is very fun, right? It scared the chick that's behind you because now like all of a sudden like
Sparks are
you're
fire.
leaning like a motherfucker, and something like is sparking and running and grinding on the ground, and then she's just like, whoa, and then you laugh.
Where are her feet?
The peg for the passenger was a little higher,
Oh, okay. I see.
so mine would touch, her wouldn't.
Yeah, yours would touch, but hers wouldn't. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Then you have to believe in God, exactly. You believe in God.
It's called vetting your passengers.
Yeah. But
I got to go here, man.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
appreciate
gotta
you.
I gotta go too. I gotta go eat.
Yeah, and I got
alright.
to go.
I'm out of pizza.
Yeah,
Shut
so I
it down.
watched the German classic, Werner Wallace. No, I didn't. His Max was the magician. I'm a math guy. I like maths, but yeah,
I used to like math.
yeah.
I forgot
You
it
used
all.
to, you don't anymore. You forget it all, right?
I don't
Anyway,
use it.
Shut it down, Max.
yeah, I'm shutting it down.
Breakfast.
I was just like stalling before so I could finish my wine, which I did now.
You said that like an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
Look at
Bye,
that.
Shauner. Thank you
Sean.
for joining us. Have a good meal. Yeah, and thank you, Phil, for joining me as well, as always.
Pleasure as always, sir.
Yeah, and thank you for people that watch in live, that join us live, and thank you for people that are gonna watch on the replay. And we're gonna come back next week for another Tear Off Your Skin. And what are we doing Monday? Did we decide? Oh, we're supposed to do this
Potentially
weekend.
a fantasy game with
Yeah,
Christy.
are we supposed to do like? Is that? I don't know, man. Maybe a game on Monday. Maybe I'm not gonna be in it. I don't know what's happening.
We'll see.
So keep your eyes peeled. Ring the bell. Then you'll be notified if we
Ring
do
the hell.
something. Ring the bell and subscribe and like the stream.
There you go.
Thank you, people, for
Let me like the
watching.
stream for
And
you.
if you want us to talk about a subject on Tear Off Your Skin, if you have questions of that, leave them in the comment down below on the stream. I'll come back and then I'll address the question that you have on the next stream, if you have any, or you can ask question on Discord as well. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Take care.
Good night.